Welcome to VidaneTV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to VidaneTV as we are reaching out to you from the Edgewater screens World Series of eRacing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for week 8. My name is Wes Rowdy Hogan. Of course, I am here with the voice of short track racing, Ryan Stevens, and we are here at the USA International Speedway in the new 1987 division here on iRacing. And typically, Ryan, you don't say new in 1987 together, but these cars are new to the iRacing circuit, and man, this is going to be a fun one to watch.
Hey, what a fitting setting, though, to throw it back to USA International Speedway with this throwback mod, if you will. This is going to be a lot of fun. These cars look super cool. Kind of similar look to the street stocks that we've run in the past, but now we've got the Monte Carlos and the Thunderbirds, and they are sharp-looking cars, and we got some great throwback schemes. And if you like Dale Earnhardt, tonight is your night.
Yeah, when this mod first came out, I knew we would see a lot of that because come on, when you think of the late '80s, you think of Dale Earnhardt and that Wrangler paint scheme into the Lumina. Yeah, but at the same time, you think of the Tide Ride, you think of the old Folgers car, and maybe some Skull Bandit as well as a couple other schemes that you see out there. But of course, you're going to see majority of Earnhardt. So, couple storylines to go over, Ryan. Our points leaders is Ryan Matthews and Ryan Borgs. Both of those drivers will be starting Tap Your Booty from the rear for this 100-lap feature.
Yeah, and just to update everybody, Ryan Matthews with a 9-point lead over Ryan Borges right now. Everybody else behind him at least 35 points back, so it looks like it'll be a 2-horse race here over the final couple of weeks. So watch the two Ryans, sending them to the back. That seemed to work on Monday night to make things pretty interesting, mix it up a little bit. So that's what we're doing tonight. But again, Matthews leading Borgs by 9 going into the penultimate race tonight.
And Ryan, also we have an invert. The top 6 will be inverted tonight. So if we were inverting the way that they're running now, I think Eugene Tuminello is the one that is running 6th currently when it comes to qualifying. Taking a quick.
How's that going to work with putting the Ryans in the back because they're 1 and 2 right now? So would we invert the top 8 then, or would it still be the 6?
It's still going to be the 6, but even though with those two starting up there, they're going to be sent to the rear. So your biggest change would be, I guess, the top 4 at that point.
I got you.
That would be the biggest change. So we told them, you know what, go ahead and run your hearts out in qualifying. Don't worry about the invert because you're starting from the back anyways. So you're going to see those drivers all sitting up there. But here's the cool thing as well. The top 10 don't have to worry about the heats and the features. So those drivers will be able to sit out and possibly take some notes because a lot of these guys haven't raced these cars yet, and that's especially the combination of these cars on this track.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. A little bit of curveball here tonight, switching things up just a little bit to add some spice and some flavor over these final 2 weeks here. And with this throwback mod, I mean, you guys couldn't have picked a more perfect track. The only way to relive the action at USA International Speedway is pretty much play it on iRacing. So here we are with 2 weeks to go, and we're going to settle the Edgewater screen World Series of eRacing right here over the final 2 weeks, and we'll see what's going to happen. A good battle set to come right down to the wire between the two Ryans, as it looks like Wes, heat number 1, getting ready to hit the grid here.
Yes, sir, and a starting pole will be Dalton Smith in the number 24. Starting outside of him will be Anthony Sergi, who actually won in his late model at Citrus this past weekend. He's going to be starting outside pole. Starting third will be Matthew Poole in the 73 with Jeffrey Gilbo in the 92 machine starting 4th. Jimmy Frazier in the number 6 will be starting 5th with Ryan Foltz to his outside in the 6th. Man, there's a lot of Earnhardt cars. Starting 7th will be Art Hendren in the Earnhardt car number 64, and then Jason Miller in that number 23.
Now, the good news is everybody going to qualify here tonight. These heat races will be kind of more or less a warm-up for these guys that didn't qualify in the top 10 as heat number 1 begins to roll. So, you know, Wes, we've talked about it a lot over the last couple of weeks, how in these heats, if you get up in the top 2 or 3, you might want to just take it easy. throw that out the window. Tonight, these guys are going to go balls to the wall. They know they're in the main event. They're going to be racing for starting position here tonight. A different track for them. This track a little bit bigger than what we had been running, a little bit wider, a little bit more space to race. So hopefully that gives these guys a little bit more confidence going into the night, and hopefully we get a good show as these big old Chevy Monte Carlos get ready to go. I don't see any of the Fords in this heat race, so this is kind of looking like a street stock race here tonight for sure.
I think there's a couple drivers that are in the Ford. One of them, I think, is Dodge Carlbert. I think he's in a Ford.
Yeah, we got a couple of them that might have qualified in the top 10 or in the next heat, but this one's full of big old Chevys.
Yeah, there's not many, Ryan. You're right. This reminds you of a normal street stock race that we might see, or super stock race, I should say, that we might see at New Smyrna. So pretty cool.
And that's why, Wes, last week I had mentioned with the street stocks, I'm like, man, they got to port the Monte Carlo over to this division, because typically you go to your short track, you see the Camaros and you see the Monte Carlos. So taking another step closer to getting that reality here in iRacing, but this is a cool mod, and man, these were some really cool race cars back in the day.
And it's cool that iRacing brought this to the server. I love that. But so the pace truck is headed down pit road, and we are back to green flag racing here at the World Series of eRacing. As one car blinking everywhere, that is a 73. He's been spun out trying to get it back up and going. He's stuck up on the wall. Big time connection issues, trying to see if he can get going. He cannot. The caution does fly.
Man, big damage. Big damage there for Matthew Poole. Not the way you wanted to start, but I guess we have to eliminate a couple of these Earnhardt paint schemes so that we know who the heck we're talking about tonight. So Anthony Sergi is your leader here. That first lap kind of got off to a bad start. Paul will try to get us a replay here. Of course, that car appeared to have connection issues, so you'll just kind of see it disappear then reappear. So we'll see what Paul has for us. We'll send it down. Paul, what do you got?
Getting kicked off here with the AWS Roofing instant replay rather early. As you can see, the 73, he started on the inside of row number 2, and like you guys made mention, lots of connection issues, and yeah, unfortunately with the connection issues, you're not even going to be able to see the wreck. Well, there's the end of it. Lots of sparks flying, big time damage all the way around the 4 corners of that race car. So luckily, like we made mention, there's enough drivers here where everybody's going to make the feature event here later on tonight. So Matthew Poole's just going to have to kick back and watch the VidaneTV broadcast and wait for the feature.
Yeah, you can go reset his router real quick and rehook everything back up and get ready to go. It's kind of like if you leave a plug wire off at your local short track, you just put that wire back on and get ready to go. So you see now Anthony Sergi running up through the pace truck, trying to mirror the pace truck. That is a weird image, and I don't know if I like that or not, but at least the pace cars here in iRacing are hollow. I don't know if anyone played the old NASCAR racing games back in the day for computer, but back on NASCAR 2002, the pace car was solid and it used to come out and roll through the field and wreck everybody. So I know this game kind of uses the same coding, and I'm glad they've got that figured out. But Sergi running like Earnhardt, messing with the pace car.
Ryan, what's cool about this is when you're in the cockpit of the car, when you're driving through the pace car like that, you can actually see inside the pace vehicle, either if it's the Mustang, the truck, or the Porsche on the roadside of it. You could actually see the dash and the wheel and everything. So even in the inside of the pace vehicles on iRacing are highly detailed. But I did want to mention, Ryan, how cool is it seeing an Anthony Sergi paint scheme on an old 87 Monte Carlo?
Man, it makes you want to see Anthony Sergi get a super stock or a pure stock and see what he can do. Now, like we've mentioned with Anthony, he runs a lot of tracks here in the state of Florida. He's run pro trucks before. He's won pro late models. He's run now, of course, the super late models, and it'd be cool to get one of these Monte Carlo type cars at any of the short tracks, really. He's a wheelman, and Anthony Sergi, we consider him a veteran. He's been around forever, but he's still young. He's still got a big career ahead of him. Heck, he's even run K&N before. So Sergi he likes to race, as he's made that apparent here, logging on pretty much every single night for this eWorld Series.
All right, so we're going to re-rack them one more time here. Again, that last caution came out mainly, I think, because of connection issues. So the green flag is out, and we are back rolling Anthony Sergi with that hold shot. We're going to drive into turn 1. Dalton Smith second, Jimmy Frazier in third.
Dalton Smith up near the front. Definitely want to give him a shout out. He came out and ran his pro late model against a bunch of super late models last weekend and wound up getting a third place finish for all of his troubles. He came out and said, this is pretty much going to be a test for us getting ready for a big pro late model race coming up this weekend. But he was able to outlast. It wasn't a big field of supers, but nonetheless got a third place finish, and that will help a small team. So Dalton Smith looking for another good run here tonight in the esports world.
Yeah, it's great motivation. It's weird if you're successful online and you kind of get that winning taste. Sometimes it can roll over to the real life. I know just racing online gave me the itch to buy a race car last year. So maybe a little bit of luck here, it can roll over to the real life stuff. So.
And then you realized how much cheaper the C stuff is, right?
And that's why I'm back over here on the eRacing side of things.
Well, we got a battle heating up here for the second spot. Here comes Jimmy Frazier, that pretty blue and white, I guess, dark blue or purple machine there. He's stalking now Dalton Smith in the blue 24 for the second spot. Sergi has opened up about a second lead as the battle's going to be for second here, Wes, it appears, over these final two races. Now, everybody's going to qualify, but every position you can gain in the heat is a position up in the field that you'll start closer to the front in the main event.
And shout out to Jimmy Frazier. He actually helps us make some of these setups that the game doesn't come with some of the setups for the cars and track combos here. So he actually helps us with that. And he actually runs Frazier Lawn Care and Landscaping. They're one of the top lawn care companies in Central Florida. Get a hold of them. We'll actually plug that sponsor a little bit later on for you. But
yeah, give them a call, 863-443-4608. That's Frazier Lawn Care, and we appreciate them coming on board. They service the Central Florida area, and I know we got a lot of people from Florida watching this event here tonight. So it's that time of year, folks. You got to mow that lawn every week. So get someone to come out and do it for you. As Frazier now battles for that second spot. Here comes Gilbo in the 92. Gilbo getting raced. Look at Smith with a big crossover. Here with 2 to go. Smith wants that second spot back, but look out. Here comes Gilbo.
The white rag is out for Anthony Sergi. He's seen a great battle in his mirror, but in front of him, he sees nothing. And Gilbo!
No. And Gilbo shake each other out.
And now Gilbo is the one that gets the worst end of it. The 24 gets it rocking and rolling. He does give up the position to Jason Miller, who finishes in the third position. But Anthony Sergi first, Jimmy Frazier second, and then Jason Miller steals the position, able to make up 2 positions in one corner.
Well, Karma was the best race director there because Gilbo got shut all the way down to the 7th spot for that move, and it wasn't really his fault. Going for a spot, it was a racing incident. That kind of thing happens here in the short tracks. So we're going to get ready here for heat number 2. You see another stout field of these beautiful Chevrolet Monte Carlos. I might be a little bit biased. One of my favorite body styles here. So here they are, lined up and ready to go. Wes, who do we got here in heat 2?
We got Colt Cecil in the 19. He's going to be starting pole next to Tanner Thomas in the 25 ride. Cool paint scheme he has there, kind of like his dad's. Starting third will be the 14 of Dodge Caliber. I believe on your screen that's going to look like the M4, a little bit of a throwback. Now that looks like an old street stock to me, or an old car. That's a pretty mean looking car. And then the 13 of David Leinlinger will be starting fourth. Corey Katuna in the 03 will be starting fifth, with Tyler Sontag starting sixth.
What a beautiful paint scheme that is.
That's Tyler for you. He's one heck of a painter, I'll tell you that. And then rounding out the field is David Costello. So
also a good-looking car.
That paint scheme on Tyler, I believe, is a throwback Neil Bonnet paint scheme.
Neil Bonnet or Bobby Hamilton, depends on the year. But that thing. We were talking paint schemes a couple nights ago, and this was one that I threw out there that had to be in the show here tonight. So I'm glad Tyler took the reign.
Yeah, and shout out to Tyler. Tyler has made up a lot of these paint schemes for these drivers. The guy's one hell of a painter when it comes to iRacing. If you are a driver in iRacing, you need a car made up, Tyler Sontag is the guy. He's a heck of a photographer as well as a painter when it comes to this. So so cool to see.
Yeah, and my little one we got running around here tonight, Mr. Dawson. He's a big fan of the 68 and the Kodak paint schemes. He's got those 2 cars that he plays with all the time, so we had to make sure those got in the race tonight. So hopefully they'll be able to make their way up through the field tonight, but those cars are pretty much done for Dawson, who's watching here inside as we
Ryan,
speak.
I think even as a kid, I know myself, maybe yourself as well. We all had that Kodak car in some kind of hot.
Absolutely, one way or another.
That Kodak car with the number 4 on it is what we all
Hmm.
had. So either that was Bobby Hamilton or whoever was in that car at that time. Maybe even Ricky Rudd at that point. I can't. Ernie Irvin. I can't remember. But
That and the spam car, and everybody always
yeah,
had the
Oh
spam car,
man,
and it always made me
where's
hungry
Blake
because it
Reed
looks
when
just
you
like a
need
can
him?
of spam.
that's more 90s than
That's right.
87. We are Green Flag Racing here again at USA International Speedway. The whole shot going to go to your pole sitter, Colt Cecil, the winner from Monday night. And now shooting into 2. We're 3 wide for the lead, Ryan.
Oh boy, look at the M4 shooting out of the hole, pun intended there. Here comes Dodge Colbert using the apron of the racetrack. Oh, Katina goes around and takes out Colt Cecil. This could bring out a caution. Well, maybe not. Everybody gets it righted. This is a little bit bigger track here tonight. It's a little bit more space. Wild way to start this one, 3 wide, and then a wreck in turn 3, and it's Tanner Thomas taking off with leading 25.
Man, you typically don't see cars going 3 wide like that straight off the start for the lead. But you know what? If it's there, you got to take it. And that's exactly what they did. And that will leave your leader coming across being Tanner Thomas.
Thomas continuing to show the way. Dodge Carlbert, the M4 there behind him, lining her up to the 3rd position now in the black number 13. That car looks like something these people local short tracks do.
I'm trying to name. I don't know if that was based on anything, but just that basic black with the red interior like Earnhardt had. I feel like you see a lot of throwback street stocks that are like that red interior with the black.
Hey, that's something I really miss these days is the colored roll cages, the colored interiors. Nowadays, everything's pretty much gray inside. But hey, got to spend that money wisely nowadays. But Leininger having a good run. Great looking machines. Fun to see these paint schemes. Everybody's been creative. I like what Colt Cecil has done as well, Wes. He's taken kind of a modern day scheme. Here we get a good look at it. He's got the Menards paint scheme, kind of bringing the modern day back to the 80s. So we have all kinds of different creative minds clashing here tonight. And, just having a little bit of fun with it with this new mod. And so far, so good. The racing's been decent.
It has. Corey Katina found himself a little bit of problems again. He looped it all on his own, and that might be something that is a common theme here tonight. These cars aren't the easiest to handle. The setup isn't bad. The setup it's very racy, but this car, it's really throwback-ish. Let's go in car real quick if we can on any car, Paul, so these fans and Ryan himself can see the inside of these cars. This car is such a throwback. When you see them going straight, there is a fan that is on their feet. How awesome!
Oh yeah, look at that. Pretty cool interior. And Wes, you mentioned the interior of the pace car, but each mod, and we've run a number of them here on VidaneTV, but each mod, the interiors are even different. A lot of times you go to game and you go inside for the cockpit view, everything looks the same. Not here. The iRacing folks have done a great job bringing back this old school. And man, you can tell how old school it is because look how far away the steering wheel is from the driver. That's pretty cool.
And the steering wheel's so big, and you can see the arms of Tyler Sontag. It's like an old school fire suit as well. You're able to edit your fire suits on iRacing, so Tyler Sontag with a great job on that. But we still got a battle here on the track, and Tanner Thomas is holding off that M4 of Dodge Colliver with 3 to go.
Here's the look at Tanner. As you see the distance between the two of them. Another thing I noticed, Wes, the open-faced helmets. We got a shot when you're doing the lineup. The drivers, they've actually got the open-faced helmets here tonight. So total throwback tonight here at the USA International Speedway. There you see that open-faced helmet here.
Yeah, that's one of the best things on here. iRacing went above and beyond to make this as close to the real thing as it was in 1987. But popsicle sticks are out for Tanner Thomas. He doesn't have a heat or a feature win this season. He's on the road to see his first checkered flag of the season. Next time around, it will be the white flag.
Also want to give their entire family a shout out. We've got them in our thoughts and prayers as some of their family members battling some tough times right now, so we want to be thinking about the Thomas family here as we go into the final lap. But I just want to let the Thomases know that we are thinking about them here, as it looks like Tanner Thomas is going to pick up a big win here and set himself up nicely for the main event. Tanner Thomas going to win it, Dodge Carlbert second. And how about David Castillo coming from the shotgun position to finish third, Leininger fourth, and Colt Cecil rounding out your top 5.
Tyler Sontag was 6th in this event, with Corey Katuna finishing 7th. Both drivers not getting the best start of this race. But you know what? I believe, well, again, we have 27 cars, so everybody should be making this event. So we're going to kick it right over to the B main, which I believe everybody should be moving on. It says we're going to be moving on 9, and starting in the B main will be 9 drivers. For some reason, it has my name in for the 10th. So
yeah, it looks like Wes will not qualify here tonight. There's no way you can pull triple duty, buddy. I'm sorry, we got to DQ you.
Yeah.
Don't challenge him. He'll try it.
Nope. I'm gonna go ahead and outlaw that right now.
Yeah, I might have a full mental breakdown trying that. So let's not. But what I can do is give you your starting lineup here for this B main, and it is as follows: the 24 of Dalton Smith will be starting pole, with the 13 of David Leanlinger starting second. Starting third will be Art Hendren in the 64, and then starting fourth will be Colt Cecil in the number 4. Starting fifth will be Ryan Foltz in the 26th, and outside of him will be Tyler Sontag in the number 91. Jeffrey Gilbo will be starting 7th in the 92, in the 03 of Corey Katuna starting 8th, and then rounding out your field, will be those 8 drivers. Matthew Poole has not figured out those issues with his connection that he was having. So he will not be able to make this event. And while we got a second, we're going to drag down and speak to real quick Anthony Sergi. Anthony, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
And great run in your heat race. You got to get your feet wet here in these awesome cars at this throwback track. Give us a little bit of feedback from your experience.
They're fun cars. Definitely a little tight on the tighter side, but can't really drive out of it either because it'll kick sideways and you'll just spin out coming off the corner. So we're kind of on ice skates right now, but I think the race will be real good for the fans, and should be a real good race. Just everyone's going to be safe in there, and at the end, it will be go time.
So, Anthony, it sounds like the cars drive just like how they did in real life, an absolute handful, and you're sweating towards the end of it.
Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't born back then, but I feel like this is what the cars felt like.
Man, well, congratulations on that heat win. You're setting yourself up in a great spot to shoot over into that 100 lapper. And Ryan and I mentioned it. Pretty cool seeing that MJS Concrete paint scheme on a 87 Monte Carlo.
Yeah, definitely think it looks real cool. I like the square body and the paint scheme on the square body. Me and Tyler are talking about that, but yeah, definitely it would be cool if we could get these kind of bodies on the newer cars, but just aerodynamics and everything. We got the new body coming next year for the super late, so that'll be pretty.
Hey, Anthony, also want to give you a big congratulations on the big win.
Ryan, I think we lost you. Are you there, buddy?
You got me?
Yep. We hear a loud clicking in the noise, and then you go bye-byes.
Oh, well, hang on. I think I'm back. Anthony, again, just want to give you a shout-out. Big congratulations on your big super late model win last Saturday night as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a fun race. Wish I could have been over at New Smyrna, but just trying to chase points over at Citrus with winning at the beginning of the year and stuff like that. But I'll be at New Smyrna tomorrow, practicing for Pensacola in 2 weeks, and as well as practicing for the Clyde Hart.
I was going to say, come back and get ready for the big one on July 4th.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there and hopefully get a win for Clyde Hart.
Well, that would be pretty awesome, man, and maybe go get yourself a big win tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, that was heat number 1 winner, Anthony Sergi, and we're going to see him later on in the feature. Already a storyline here. As we've gone green, we had the Leanlinger machine get completely sideways and wrecked pretty hard, collecting Jeffrey Gilbo, but we stayed green. Tyler Sontag has found himself on pit road. As we took on to lap 2, he had an issue as well where Tyler Sontag spun it off a turn 4 and a little bit of contact with the Corey Katuna ride, and he's finding himself on pit road. So, a couple drivers already early, some trouble early in this 20-lap Consi event. But hey, everybody makes a show.
Wes, who's not having trouble is Dalton Smith in the 24, as he's got the lead right now as this B feature. Pretty much a glorified test session here tonight, but things getting kind of spread out. Dalton Smith ahead of Foltz in the 26, and then Art Hendren up into the top 3. Nice to see Art having a decent run. We haven't gotten a chance to talk too much about him, but he is a real-life Superstock driver, and hopefully we'll see him back on the real track here shortly, but nonetheless, having a good run tonight so far.
Yeah, Art Hendren looking at third right now in the 64. He is struggling a bit, though. It seems like he's not gotten this setup completely down, but he's holding his own so far. But Jeffrey Gilbo is coming up quick in that number 92 machine. He's going to be knocking on that door for a top 3 here soon.
Gilbo's got a...
Going. Tyler
happened?
spun, but we're back going. He's good.
Yep, there you see the 68 Country Time Lemonade machine has gone around. Caution not going to come out, so we continue. It's been a tough day for the Heartbreak Kid once again.
Yeah, he's definitely struggling with this this division that we're running here with this class. It hasn't been his cup of tea just yet. So, but I got a feeling there's going to be more to come in the future, possibly running these cars, having some fun in these cars. VidaneTV's we're always coming up with something here. Vidane Racing, VidaneTV, but we're enjoying what we're calling here Week 8. Watch it, as you said, basically a glorified test session, but this does matter. Where they finish will be where they start, basically at the tail end of the field. So the driver that will finish last will start tail end minus our 2 leaders in the points going to the back.
Absolutely, and Dalton Smith out here riding along with this thing pretty well in hand right now. Remember, he could have avoided this race if it wasn't for a last lap mishap in the heat. So you never know what's going to happen, but guys, stay tuned. The main event's going to be a good one. We have over 20 cars ready to go for the feature later on tonight here on VidaneTV, and we're sending the top 2 in the points, Ryan Borges and Ryan Matthews, to the tail of the field. So if you like passing, you've tuned in on a good night.
All right, so I think our second place driver, not exactly who it was, but I think he may have had a little bit of a connection issue, as now the 64 of Hendren is second place, with Jeffrey Gilbo riding around here in third, looking to make the pass.
Yep, Gilbo going to make that pass, though, Wes, on the backstretch, it appears.
As he does. He puts his number 92 machine up into P2, but still a great run for both of these drivers, even though it is a consi. Both of these drivers race hard, and you still want to get the win. But one driver you're not having to worry about right now is Dalton Smith, who is about a half lap ahead of these boys almost.
Yeah, he's picking them up, putting them down 6.7 seconds that last time around between 1 and 2. Art Hendren kind of struggling here, especially on entry. Drifts up near the wall. He just got a piece of the wall. And Art Hendren all over the place right now. Down through the grass, losing control. Hang on to it, Art. Whew.
What
nice artwork
what
there.
A
Big time save. Oh, now he might be having connection issues.
Man, and
in real life, Wes, you got to worry about getting everything to work correctly. In the virtual world, you just need your internet to cooperate. That thing you pay all that money for all month, if that don't cooperate, you're done.
And Ryan, the way these cars handle for this class is very much like how they did back then. One of the things being, like Anthony was saying, just how tight they are. These cars were tight in real life back then. They're
very stiff suspensions. I mean, the technology, you think about it, the 1987 mod, we're talking over 30 years ago, and the technology has come so far. We got a whole different setup with bump stops and all that nowadays. And, kind of like Anthony said, I've driven a race car once, but nothing ever like these things. And I can't really speak on how they run, but you can just tell how different they are, how stiff they look, this old boxy style, cool to look at, but as Anthony Sergi alluded to, not very good aerodynamically. So, you can still see this style of racing at your local short track, but whole different animal tonight. And that's what we've been doing to these guys through this whole series, is throwing different curveballs at them. And we've seen the same people step up to answer the bell. So Dalton Smith, though, brings us to 4 to go here in this consi, this B main, whatever you want to call it. Smith looking good. He'll start a lot better than everybody else in this race for the feature, that's for sure.
As he will, and next time around will be 3 to go for that number 24 machine, the all blue. And that car looks pretty plain, but I feel like back then you probably would have seen more plain cars like that, the underfunded teams that hauled their race cars to the tracks on open trailers, because you saw that in the Cup Series back then.
Well, even back here, you pretty much had a base paint scheme and maybe some decals on it, because you didn't have these fancy graphic designers that could do things on the computer like they can today. So this bit of a throwback Penske, and his real life team, a bit of a throwback team. You know, it's Dalton Smith out there with his dad. Up until this year, they had one of the oldest cars in the entire late model field in Florida. So these guys kind of have that old school mentality, and I think this suits Dalton's style pretty well.
It does, and I'm sure that they may not have the big dollars that some of the other teams do. So you gotta work with what you have. And I believe his car used to be the Corey Spencer car, correct?
It did, yes. Their new car now is the Corey Spencer car, the one that they finished third in a super late model race the other day. So,
if you remember, Corey used to actually run with us earlier in this season, but his work schedule got changed, so he couldn't join us much more. But coming out of turn 4 will be Dalton Smith. He's going to cross the finish line and get the win in here in this Consi. Second will be Jeffrey Gilbo. Third, it looks like it's going to be Colt Cecil, possibly. David Linglinger is going to be rounding out in 5th with trying to see who 4th might be. 4th looks like it's going to be Art Hendren. So Art making his way through, and just looking at the field here, only a few cars actually finished on the lead lap. So that was more of a 20-lap test session for them. So what we're going to do now here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to go into a warm-up session, and then we're going to do our national anthem. So stay tuned. We're going to have the national anthem for you, and we'll be back with a couple quick words. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back one more time here, and next time you see a green flag, we will be going green for 100 laps here at the USA International Speedway. And Ryan, I'm going to let you do a little bit of an update of what we saw around the basically around the state of racing what was brought to you. I'm going to get up and grab myself a quick beverage and let us know. Recap this past weekend.
Hey, while you do that, we'll give a shout out, of course, to Sunshine State Racing on Facebook. You can follow them there to keep up to date with what is going on with Florida racing. It was kind of a weird weekend, you know. Half the state saw rain, the other half was clear and good to go. And hey, some tracks even got rain and we're still able to race. It's just welcome to Florida in the summer. But New Smyrna Speedway was able to get their first racing of the regular season in front of a pretty big crowd, and they had a good night. Super late models were a little bit scarce, but Brad May picked up the win there. And then, of course, Citrus Speedway, they also had late models, and surprisingly, they didn't get as many late models as maybe everyone was expecting, but they still had a decent showing over there. Anthony Sergi, who's racing with us tonight, won over there. Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series tried to get back racing down south in 417, and unfortunately they were rained out. But I know Volusia County is going to be back racing this weekend on the dirt. And man, maybe we have an all-star type event at the end of the truck series at Volusia Speedway on the dirt. Maybe that'd be fun. But again, make sure you follow Sunshine State Racing on Facebook for all of your Florida racing action. Auburndale Speedway having a Crashorama event this weekend, if that's your fancy. New Smyrna Speedway back in action. Citrus Speedway having the Wheelman Series. If you like rivalries, you'll want to be at New Smyrna. If you like sportsman racing, you're going to want to be at Citrus Speedway. If you like Crashorama stuff, you're going to want to be at Auburndale. And if you want to see what else is going on, Sunshine State Racing, that's your number one stop there. Also want to thank Edgewater Screen for sponsoring the World Series of eRacing here as we throw it back. Different venue tonight, the USA International Speedway for the throwback the throwback mod. And, of course, want to thank Super Spray Pressure Wash, CageGauge.com, and all of our other great sponsors as well. Appreciate everybody's support here. You know, it's been nice having these couple of weeks of racing. This is all drawn to an end. It's been nice to have this e-racing going on as a platform to promote what everybody's doing. But now as everybody gets back up into real racing, the focus starting to shift back to real life here. But nonetheless, VidaneTV will be your best source for all things iRacing, as you guys you just do not sleep. You guys are always doing racing and bringing our fans some great shows.
Absolutely, Ryan, and I'm starting to get stuff at work all the time from the guys that work for me. It's like, man, you look like you haven't slept in like 3 weeks. It's like, brother, I haven't.
Starting to catch up with you, isn't it?
Working a full-time job and doing the VidaneTV stuff on the side, but you know what? It's a blast for us. This is Showtime Paul Strickland down here in the production truck, and man, we actually got some news that Stafford Motor Speedway up here in Connecticut, Northern Connecticut, we're kicking things off. Open practice this Saturday. The grandstands are going to be closed, but next Friday night, kicking things off on the 26th, 25% capacity for the grandstand, so make sure you get on StaffordSpeedway.com and pre-order your tickets to get into the stands. But man, we're going racing. We're going to be hanging out with the Rent-A-Race Car boys, and I am so excited. I've alluded to it a couple of times, but VidaneTV is going to be sponsoring the number 26 Rent-A-Race Car Street Stock. So very cool. Look for some pictures on our Facebook page, and we actually just posted a link too. Make sure you're wearing your mask at the racetrack, and if you have to wear a mask, you may as well drop the $20 and get yourself a really cool VidaneTV mask. But I believe Wes is back from getting his drink. I think he's going to take us through the feature starting order.
It's a great feeling to be back racing, isn't it, Paul?
Oh, absolutely. It's man, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of the friends that I've made here on sim racing, VidaneTV, iRacing, all that stuff. Some people that I may or may not have talked to before without the sim racing at the racetrack. But man, it's pretty cool. I'm excited, and we're gonna be doing some racing. I know I've got 2 or 3 races scheduled in the number 6 car for Rent-A-Race Car, so I am excited about that. But real quick, we're going to go through the starting order right up front. P number 1, the 57 car of Bray Holmes. Outside of him is going to be the number 10 of Hayden Vog. Third place, the 08 Nicholas Noggle. Noggle like a goggle, I learned from our Canadian friends up in the northern side of our borders. And outside of him is going to be the 88.
Nick Nagel. It's not Nick Nagel like I thought his first speedway. My bad.
Yeah, Noggle like goggles is what they told me.
That's right.
And Eric Purcell is going to be running fourth. Ryan Matthews and Ryan Borg is going to be starting fifth and sixth. Just kidding. They're going to the back of the pack because they are 1 and 2 in points. So you can see that that gorgeous hot pink and yellow. And I never thought I'd ever say the words. That gorgeous hot pink. Yes, the Neil Bonnet throwback.
That's the Neil Bonnet car. All right.
And Wes is going to pick up from the 7th starting position here with Phil Ellis in the 029.
I'm glad he's telling me what I'm doing because I sure don't know. All right, so starting 7th position is the 29 of Phil Ellis with Eugene Tuminello starting 8th. Starting 9th will be Jesse Powers, and then 10th will be Blake Clouser starting in that P10 position. Starting 11th will be Anthony Sergi with Tanner Thomas in the 25, starting 12th. Jimmy Frazier in the number 6 was starting 13th with Dodge Culbert in the M4 starting 14th. Jason Miller will be in the 15th with David Costello to his outside in that Kodak machine starting 16th. Dalton Smith, your Conti winner, starting 17th. Jeffrey Gilbo, 18th. Colt Cecil, Art Hendren, David Langlinger, Tyler Sontag, Ryan Foltz, Corey Katuna will be rolling out your field as we go green.
Green flag is out west. We found all the Thunderbirds. They're fast. They all qualified up near the front. Side by side, Bray Holmes, Hayden Vach. Holmes, the pro truck veteran. Hopefully we can get them to come out and race the trucks with us this weekend. But Bray Holmes, he is going to take the lead down into turn number 3 as they scramble for position behind him. Oh, that Lightning McQueen car way up high. We got a lot of Lightning McQueens, a lot of Dale Earnhardts out here tonight.
Calling it right now, lap number 157. Lightning McQueen, that's going to be my pick to win this race. Ka-chow!
Paul, that was some of the best commentary of this whole series. Thank you for that.
Oh, man. Again, I'm going to have you keep me updated on any big incidents in the front as I'm playing admin and announcer here tonight. But keep an eye on your leaders as they have to work, your points leaders having to work their way up through the field. That Matthews machine is already up to 18th with Borgs up to 17th. So Ryan Borgs, the one that's down in the points, he's the one that has the advantage here early in this 100-lap feature.
Oh, man, look at this battle further back there. 2 and 3 wide back here. The fast cars. Borgs and Matthews, 9 points separating the two of them coming in. Oh, whoa, no, there's our point leader getting turned around here on the front straightaway. Matthews in the beautiful country time machine, all torn up, getting slammed into by the 26, among others. Sontag is in it. The 03 Katuna is in it. And here we go, Wes. We got one flipping in the back, as a matter of fact. That was Tyler Sontag going for a roll. But Wes, here we go. The leaders, the top drivers of this series, all torn up.
Yeah, looking at it, there's 2 different incidences. Tanner Thomas also lost it further in the front. Tanner Thomas lost control, caused an incident as well. So you might actually see 2 drivers heading to the back here with the end of longest line penalty. But Tanner Thomas involved as well. So, man, tough start.
Absolutely. Looking at the AWS Roofing instant replay right now from the blimp view. We're going to focus on that bright orange, blaze orange 33 car. That's Ryan Matthews, your points leader, in the middle of 3 wide and 3 long. Driver in front of him, driver in back, completely boxed in. And you saw heading into the corner, the number 50 Kodak machine got a little bit squirrely, but he was able to collect it. No harm, no foul. And you see that number 23 car hits the the outside wall and just comes in contact with the 51 quarter panel, sends him on around that country time lemonade car, just giving him a little bit of a mix, and it looks like he's almost able to save it. Just kidding. Gets T-boned by Gilbo in the number 92 car. Tough break. That was a hard hit. He's going to get tagged again from behind the 26, and then this 68 is going to give him a shot there too. Man, tough break for Ryan Matthews. Wes, real quick, do we have resets here tonight?
Wes apparently still sorting through this. Wes playing double duty tonight. We'll follow up with Wes in a minute. But
yeah, I'm here now, Ryan. A couple drivers going to the back there. One of them being Tanner Thomas that started one incident, and then the 23 Jason Miller that started another incident. So 2 drivers going to the back. Not exactly sure who caused the caution initially, but it kind of happened simultaneously. So when something like that happens, both drivers that could possibly be at fault will go to the rear.
They were wrecking in the back here. You see Tanner Thomas. He got loose, snappy loose into Purcell, and the 2 of them go around collecting some other cars. Man, a wild start here tonight at the USA International Speedway on Throwback Night here in the E-World Series, brought to you by Edgewater Screen. So Wes, are there resets tonight, or are you dealt the hand that you get?
You get one reset tonight, and they're allowed to change as many tires as they want. Going to this division, this class that isn't that known on iRacing, we weren't exactly sure how they would handle. So that's why they're a little bit more lenient here with the lights off on the pace truck. They get a little bit more of an opportunity to make a mistake. So
Well, that's the good news. That's some good news for our top point drivers who were right in the middle of that. Matthews, of course, got tagged. We're still going to have 90 laps. Plenty of time. This track is big. It's wide. Plenty of area to pass. So our leaders, our point leaders, still have a good shot to minimize the bleeding here tonight as we get ready to go back racing.
Borg's already up to 9th. He was 2nd in points with Matthews still back in 15th. As we are back green flag racing, your leader is Bray Holmes. Bray doing a heck of a job keeping his machine up front. He hasn't led many laps this season, but when he has been up front, he's kept it up there and he's kept it aggressive. And a little bit of contact in the back. Looks like the 9 of Blake Clouser get the bump from Borgs as they enter through 3 and 4, but they exit clean.
Well, Canada's Nicholas Noggle right now, the meat in the Bill Elliott sandwich. You got the 10 Hayden Vach, and you've got the 94 Jesse Powers right behind him there as the top couple now getting sorted out, but the eye of the storm right behind him. But here comes that 33. Are you sure, Wes, that the 33 started in the back? Because we're 10 laps in, he's up to the top 5. Are you kidding me?
Ryan Borgs knows what he's doing, man. He wants to get to the front. He wants to make sure he can keep the Matthews machine behind him as far as possible. And the best way to do that is get to the front as quick as possible. And remember, Ryan, you get bonus points for not only leading a lap, you get a bonus point for but also leading the most laps. So he wants to get up there and hurry.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Borgs needs to get up there and take advantage of those stipulations, Wes. Remember, it was just 9 points coming into the evening. Ryan Matthews, who we saw involved in that first caution in the 51, he leads by 9 over the 33 of Borgs. Those two decided to make things a little bit interesting, agreed to go to the back tonight, now racing their way up towards the front. I'm sure we're not done talking about Ryan Matthews here tonight, but the 33 would love to get up there, get that bonus point for at least leading a lap. Right now, Bray Holmes has been up front for all 12. Top 5 or so single file as we ride with your leader, Bray Holmes, and the Lightning McQueen, number 57.
Bray Holmes doing one heck of a job up there in that Lightning McQueen ride. 2nd place currently Hayden Vach. He's struggled throughout this season, but he's doing a great job here tonight. Nicholas Noggle, 3rd. Jesse Powers, 4th. Ryan Borgs up to 5th. And let's check on our points leader. Where does he reside right now? 15th, Mr. Ryan Stevens. 16th, make that.
And you see the damage there, so it makes me wonder if he's saving his reset just in case something else happens. It's tough when it happens early. It's you know, it's good in one aspect because you got time to get back up there. It's bad in one aspect because if you use it and wreck late, you're done. So Matthews playing a little bit of the strategy game right now. Plenty of time to make it up there, but this could really switch things up going into the final race of the season here next weekend. 9 points was the lead, and right now they're virtually tied, if not flip-flop in the top spot. Oh, trouble. Art Hendren is around. Purcell, you got the Ford Carlbert involved. Looks like 2 separate incidents. A number of them going upside down here in turn number 3. A wild incident. That's Corey Katuna ending up on his lid. And we are under caution for the 2nd time tonight here on lap 16.
Yeah, it looked like the 64 of Art Hendren kind of just bounced up off the wall and made contact with the 88 and sent him around. And then it's just calamity from there. There's so many cars all over the place. It's hard to call that one. Paul's going to get us a replay there, but all started with the 64, and 03 of Corey Katuna ended up on his roof.
Yeah, looking at the AWS Roofing instant replay, nice slow motion shot here from the blimp, so I can try and capture all of that, because there was a lot. There was a lot going on under that during that wreck. And you can see the 64 Wrangler car gets up to the outside wall, scrapes it just a little bit, tries to correct it, comes on down to where the double 8 is, and unfortunately they synchronized spin, block the entire racing groove there, and the 64 tries to back up. Nowhere for the 03 to go. He tries to get that car turned down, T-bones the driver's side door, sends the 64 up out into the wall, and then they just clog the racing groove. 26 is in it, 13, boom, he's in it. 92 of Gilbo, he gets by, he squeaks by on the outside, but that country time 89 is around, and flips the 88 over onto his lid, then to his side, and looks like he's going to stick the landing, well, he's going to stick the landing upside down in any sense, but tough break for those guys. A lot of damaged race cars here on lap number 18.
And just a quick heads up, looks like Ryan Matthews' machine has been fixed. He's got 4 tires. That car's back fixed. He's used his reset, so keep that in mind. If something happens to him again, that could be a tough break. But a lot of drivers headed down pit road. Borgs went down pit road. Matthews, Jeffrey Gilbo, Tyler Sontag. He took tires, but he did not fix his damage. He's still got a crinkled up rear end. Philip Ellis, Dodge Colbert, Ryan Foltz, and more all headed down pit road, but still on the same tires they started on. Is at least your top 5, top 6 here. Bray Holmes, your leader.
So we're closing in on 20 laps complete. Bray Holmes having a great showing, taking advantage of those faster cars going to the back of the field here tonight. I love what I'm seeing so far. We're getting a good mix of great racing and wild action, so everyone definitely get their money's worth tonight.
Yeah, this has been cool. The thing I like about this track is it's very similar to New Smyrna. It's I believe it's a little bigger, it's a little wider, but it's very, very similar.
Yeah, it's similar enough. Again, kind of switching things up a little bit, kind of adding to the throwback week here on VidaneTV, but you got a little bit more space to race tonight. The mistakes over at New Smyrna, you can't have one, especially with these cars, the way they drive. If you get out of line in these things, there's no saving it. So at least here you got a little bit more space to work with, and so far we're seeing some good racing. In West, as we've seen with a lot of these races, cautions early, and we get a lot of great racing throughout the middle portion before the end when things all break loose. So who knows? We still got 80 laps to go. It's still going to be good. Stay tuned. Getting ready. Nope, we're going to take another pace lap here. Another pace lap. And then we'll be back to racing. Bray Holmes, Hayden Bach, and Canada's Nicholas Noggle. A lot of Florida drivers, but we got Nicholas Noggle, who's one of our... He's still a regular as far as Speed Weeks goes at the New Smyrna Speedway, so we're glad to have him representing those our neighbors up north, I should say. So we'll see what Nicholas can do in that beautiful Davey Allison throwback.
Quick storyline here. Ryan Borg's 12th, Ryan Matthews 13th.
Whew. So that's going to mix it up. So Borg's pitted, took some tires. We're going to see some strategy here tonight, Wes, I believe. But I think once those two, and I'm not counting them out, they will be up front. I think once they get up there, they're going to be hard to beat. Green flag is back out now, the 57, back on the gas. And Bray Holmes trying to make a statement here tonight.
We are back green flag racing here at the USA International Speedway, lap 22 with Bray Holmes as your leader. Just a gaggle of cars further back trying to work their ways out as they enter into turn 3. A lot of bumper tag going on. 2, 3 wide further in the back. 4 wide coming off of turn 4. Ryan Borgs makes a huge move.
Boy, Ryan Borgs, he is not afraid to put the pedal to the metal and get every spot he can. He's closing up on Eugene Tuminello in the 35. Look at him. Boy, his car's got like an extra... Oh, he bounces
right behind him, Ryan. Ryan Matthews now on the apron making moves, but not touching a single car. The Borgs and Matthews machine making their own lane as Matthews... Oh
no, Eugene Tuminello, Colt Cecil, and Tanner Thomas go around here on the front straightaway. That was too wild for that not to happen. Eric Purcell going to get tapped around here as well. Wes, that was too crazy. That was like Talladega on the final lap, probably what we'll see on Sunday if y'all still watch that stuff. But man, oh man, the racing was too hot, too furious for that to go any further. Paul's going to have to hit the refresh button here and bring it all back because that was wild. The point leaders right up in the mix, and they just missed it.
Too hot to handle. You see the 2 points leaders right there. Bright orange number 33. The green numbers on the top of that roof. Ryan Borgs, 51. The points leader right behind him. 3 wide, 4 wide, 97 wide. Holy moly, looking at it right now. The AWS Roofing instant replay. And I didn't see exactly where this started, but we absolutely saw where it finished. You can see the 33 makes a huge move, dumping down below the 9 and the 35 comes up and kind of scrapes the door. Just a little bit of a love tap there. Gets him out of shape in the 35, but he's able to hold on to it. A little bit of damage there on the right rear quarter panel of the 33, but no harm, no foul. He keeps going, and then there it is, 4 wide. The 19 backs up just a little bit, says no thank you. I am going to try my best. Maybe I will try 3 wide. We'll see what happens, and I may have backed this up just a little bit too far, but man, that was still some fantastic racing, especially between the 2 points leader, the 33 and the 51. And we're seeing the 33 dips on down low between the 24, gets around him, no problem. We're looking at the 35, the M4, 25, 19. And there you see Ryan Matthews hits the apron just a little bit. That Country Time car just getting a little bit shaken up. I'm going to keep using that joke until somebody tells me to stop. And there you see it. The 19 comes up into the 35. Synchronized spinning. The 25 gets into it. Gets a piece of both cars. Sends those guys around. We're going to have to get in touch with the landscaping company that jumped on as a sponsor here. But those 2 guys are down 19 in victory lane. A little bit early for that. Little premature celebration there, but a tough break there. We're going to see if we can jump back up to the number 51, Ryan Matthews. I don't think... Was there another incident that I'm not seeing here?
Paul, there was another incident where Eric Purcell was spun out after the incident happened by I think Eugene Tuminello sent him around. But other than that, that's what you got there. The car, nobody went to the back there. That was deemed a racing incident, so admin did not throw anybody to the back of the field. I mean, how can you put anybody at fault at that? You're 3-4 wide off the corner, Ryan.
Hey, that was all just some crazy racing. I mean, that was good stuff in my book, and you know, when you get that many cars running that close together, you're bound to have a couple guys get tangled up. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. But some great racing here early on, still under caution, approaching the 30-lap mark. A little bit bigger track, as we mentioned, than what we've been running on with this series. So caution laps taking a little bit longer here tonight, but that gives everybody enough time to kind of reset and refresh and get ready to go. Because Wes, we were on the edge of our seats there up here in the booth, having to grab onto each other to not fall out of our seats, because that was some great racing. That is what esports is all about right there.
You know, watching Borgs and Matthews make their own lane, Borgs being the conductor of that train on the bottom, just making his own lane, and Matthews following him through, and both of those drivers not touching a soul doing it. You see why those drivers are in the top 2 in points as we double it back up here to go green, but there's still a long way to go. We already seen Matthews get spun once. You know his heart had a drop when that happened, but now we know his reset has been used. Now you can't really tiptoe, but at the same time, you got to watch your P's and Q's. As this time down, the pace truck will hit the pit road, and we're going to get back green flag racing.
All right, reset button has been hit, Wes. Take a deep breath, because it might get wild again. Wow, look at that restart. How about that? With the whole shot, Ray Holmes.
Oh, big wreck.
The lead is there. Oh, no.
That looked like 33.
The 33 went up on his side there. The 33, second place point man, Borge, in trouble. Ryan Borge is in trouble. Got up and over, and there you see that heavy plume of smoke out the back end. Another wild incident. Tuminello's in it. Thomas is in it. Katuna is in it, among possibly others. Oh, man, this is huge. Jesse Powers was up in it as well. This could change a lot of things. Wes has disappeared here. He is going in the admin role to figure out what happened. We'll send it down to Paul Showtime Strickland to show us what happened there. We caught it live out of the corner of our screens, Paul, but what did you see?
This changes everything. Going to take a look right at the restart. You can see the Daytona Dodge pace truck still right there in your screen. We're going to try and do a little bit of slow motion here. We're going to focus in on that 33 car, the P2 guy in points, and we're going to focus in also towards the right of your screen, the pink and yellow 51 car. That's Ryan Matthews, the points leader, and we're going to try and see exactly where this kicks off. You see the 33 is following in. Sergi doesn't get the start that he's been getting all night long. The 94 checks up just a little bit. The 33 gets into the back of him, and the 33 had nowhere really to go, so he tries to squeak on by the outside, and unfortunately that turns the 94 car into him, which turns into the 23, which turns into the 51, and unfortunately with the racing grooves being blocked, there was a lot of cars coming on through. Big hit coming up, boom, for the 19 car. Looks like the 88 barely squeaks on by. We're going to see if we can switch over to the 14 or the M4 car. as they're still wrecking. And the pace truck rather, didn't even stop, just kind of drove on down through, did a quick pass through on pit road, and came on back out. So tough break for a lot of these guys, especially the top 2 in points. Right now we're looking at Ryan Matthews as we're going to wait for the timing and scoring to kind of update here. Ryan Matthews, the points leader, showing P14, and it looks like he's actually got a couple of spots ahead of Ryan Borgs, who looks like he may very well be scored a lap down. And you can see right now he's actually going to be dipping down onto pit road. Looks like he's got some black smoke coming onto the back of that car. So we're gonna follow the 33 and see if he's able to use a reset. I'm not sure if he's used that reset just yet. He has been on pit road at least one time so far. We're gonna ride down pit road here in the cockpit. We're gonna make sure we're looking at the live view as we are. He's gonna come on down. He's gonna pit, stopping his pit stall. Black smoke kicking out. See if we can take a peek in the outside of this car.
Well, I believe that he did not use his reset yet, so I believe he will be using his reset this time, as his car will come out like new. And he was at the tail end of the lead lap when all that happened. Because he had to pit, he is going to be trapped a lap down here. So a little bit of storyline there for Ryan Borgs, your second place runner in points. You know, Ryan, starting these points leaders in the back, we knew it was going to bring drama. We knew it was going to bring excitement, and well, it did exactly that.
I didn't know it was going to bring this much excitement, and we're only 34 laps in. So, man, it's still time for them to get back up there, but tough break for the 33 being a lap down here. He'll have his work cut out for him.
One thing to keep in mind, though, we're looking at Ryan Matthews right now. Matthews has already used his reset about 10 to 15 laps ago, and you can see he's already got a bunch of damage on that car. So really going to be a battle of attrition here between the 51 and the 33 to see who's going to come home with the point standings.
It's definitely not over.
There's a couple cars just took the wave around Eugene Timonello, Tanner Thomas, a couple others. They actually have to start behind Ryan Borgs, who's down a lap. So Ryan Borgs is the first car down a lap. So as the pace truck heads down pit road, we are single file in this restart as Bray Holmes sees the green flag, and we are back rocking and rolling here at the USA International Speedway. A little bit of a cleaner start than we've seen all night, Ryan, with it being single file.
Single file restart, kind of cleaning things up. The last restart turned everything right on its head. So you guys doing what you have to do to get some laps in here tonight, and probably a good call because we've seen so much calamity so far. But you see the 57 Bray Holmes continuing to lead as we go the wide shot, so you can see all the action throughout the field right now. Nicholas Noggle out of Canada up to second, Hayden Bach third. How about Castillo up to fourth, having a good run so far?
As he is, as well as the driver that we typically does well, but doesn't always dominate, is your Dalton Smith machine in that 24. He was the winner of the Consi. He's been holding his own quite well in the top 6, top 7. Right now he's on the outside with a little bit of damage, giving up a spot to the 20 of Sergi and Jimmy Frazier. But shout out to Dalton Smith doing a great job in that 24 machine.
Dalton Smith doing a great job as always. Here comes Clouser right into the mix here. That is Blake Clouser. A standout in the quarter midgets. We've talked about Blake being the son of Rich Clouser. I don't think we've talked about him being a great wheelman himself, not only here on iRacing, but in real life as well. Blake Clouser, one of those up-and-coming drivers. I had the honor to be the commentator for the quarter midgets last Friday night. It was really my first time ever watching those quarter midgets go. Those kids, man, they're the future of racing, whether it be short track racing, NASCAR, whatever. Do not sleep on those kids. They put on one heck of a show, and Blake having a good run up there in the 9, making the family proud right now.
And we are single file throughout the field, and this is the one time we're going to looks like we may get a green flag run that Ryan Borgs didn't want to see. Is with him being stuck down a lap. We are basically single file since we got that restart in as a single file restart. It's basically stayed like that, a couple passes here or there, but now it's time to get into that rhythm. And some of these drivers have pitted once and may have what they have for the rest of the race, but your drivers like Bray Holmes and Nick Noggle, and I think possibly even Hayden Bach, still on the tires that they started on.
Well, and that could mix things up, because if they have to pit later, we are going to see comers and goers. Just because Bray Holmes has dominated, he will most likely, if he leads past halfway, he will definitely lock up the bonus points for leading the most laps tonight. That's obvious, but we might still see some comers and goers tonight. Really impressed with David Castillo in the 50. We appreciate CageGauge.com, one of our proud sponsors here in this eWorld Series, as he moves by the Hayden Vock machine. So, Wes, do you think that's a tire situation with the 10? Do you think he used up his stuff a little bit? Because now these guys are starting to eat him up.
I think it is. Hayden Vock has kind of struggled a little bit on the iRacing series since we started this World Series of eRacing, but he's gotten better each week. And this has shown it. He's really held his own up there on these older tires. He's done a great job of holding these drivers off, but it only lasts for so long. We saw Monday night Cody Brinson hold on to the lead for about 3/4 of that race, and finally new tires, they broke through, and we might be seeing that same thing here tonight. But Bray Holmes and Nick Noggle, though, looking great. Jimmy Frazier, I believe he's on newer tires. He's on his way to the front.
Frazier in the 6, flying up there past Castillo, up into that 3rd spot now, and Sergi getting to the middle. Oh, Hayden Vock gets up into Sergi. Sergi up into the wall, into the marbles in turn 2. That's going to cost him a number of spots. Here comes the 68, Tyler Sontag, rallying up through the field, as Sergi got the bad end of that deal right now. Robbins racing, though. We continue under green, closing in on the halfway point, and man, some crazy exciting racing tonight here for this World Series of Esports, brought to you by Edgewater Screen.
And now the 26 of Ryan Faltz makes a pass on Tyler Sontag. He works his way up into the 10th position, the 9th position, knocking Tyler back into 10th. So a little bit of a battle there. And now Hayden Vock put the block on Blake Clouser. Blake Clouser now opening up the door. And we got one around. The 50 goes around hard.
Oh, man. David Castillo gets the announcer's jinx tonight. Just as soon as we say he's having a great night, it all goes unglued there for the 50. Damage doesn't look too bad, though, Wes, so hopefully he can get it back to the pit area, get some repairs. Hayden Vock and David Castillo making contact up near the front, and somehow it's a 2-car incident.
Taking a quick peek here at the AWS Roofing Instant Replay. We're going to focus in on that 50 car. You see the 10 just comes in and sends it. It gets into the back of the quarter panel. Wow, tough. Oh, man, almost gets creamed by that blue car, but luckily he was able to hold on to it. So not too much damage there on the 50 car. A little bit of bent in on the back end and on the right side of that car, but no worse for wear. And looking at the timing and scoring right now, this is going to benefit P2. It looks like Ryan Borg is going to be the first car 1 lap down. It appears, if our timing and scoring is updated correctly, Ryan Borgs is going to get the free pass and going to get put back on the lead lap. So good, tough break for the 50, but definitely a good opportunity for the number 33 of Ryan Borgs. And you can bet that pit road is going to be busy. Taking a look right now at the end of pit road, all these drivers down getting tires. And one of those things, Nicholas Noggle looks like he's stayed out. Looking at her timing and scoring, has not pitted all throughout the race yet, so he's on 50 lap tires. And it appears the number 50 of Costello, I believe he's actually on pit road. So that'll update here momentarily. But it's looking like right now, Nicholas Noggle, the only driver that has stayed out to not take tires throughout this entire race. And actually, we're seeing him drop back just a bit, so he is heading down pit road right now. So may have been listening to the broadcast and said, you know what, I may have goofed. So we're seeing a lot of drivers heading down pit road again here. So man, this has been some good racing
there, Paul, to stay out and lead a lap and get that bonus point.
That's a good point. We've seen that in past weeks here. Drivers saying, hey, you know what? Let me stay out one more time. I'm going to restart in the back, but I'm going to get that one bonus point. And as tight as the points battle is up front, there are all these mini battles. We've had over 65 drivers start at least one race in this series, which is absolutely phenomenal. And man, every point counts when you're going for battling for positions.
You know, it's important to be in the top 5 in this series. So hey, that point could be the difference between 5th and 6th.
And Noggle actually checked with me before this race. He said, hey, where am I at points? So the points are in the back of his mind. He came into this event 10th in points. So if he wants to be a part of a possible invitation that's going to be coming up here soon at VidaneTV in the future, possibly, the top 10 might be something that you want to aim for as well. So
North-South shootout.
Quick storylines. Ryan Matthews, your points leader, starting 6th on this restart. Ryan Borgs, I believe, was your wave around car, and in that 33 machine, he's going to be starting the back of the pack about 17th. So he's got half this race now to catch Matthews. Now, Ryan, you got half the race. Are you aggressive and try to get up there as soon as possible, According to show
Listen,
tickets.
Wes, here at this track, you've got half the race left. At most tracks, that's a full race. The 33 Borgs, he's gone through an adventure like he has not gone through in this series so far. But with just about 50 laps to go, a little less than 50 to go, he has plenty of time to get back up through there. He has used his reset, so he cannot afford any more issues tonight. Remember, the 33, we're riding with him now. Started 6th, well, actually started in the back. Currently riding 17th, so that's not where he wants to be. He came into tonight 9 points behind Ryan Matthews in the 51. Eric Purcell, the 3rd place point man. The way things are going, if Purcell can win this race and the 33 and 51 continue to run in the back, we're going to have a 3-way battle for the championship. But things are going to get interesting as we get ready to go back green, and there it is, green flag out. We ride with your leader, Jimmy Frazier. That beautiful blue number 6. Love the paint scheme on that thing. Old school, but yet beautiful. And how about Tyler Sontag, the Heartbreak Kid? Only was 2nd for a minute, but here comes Bray Holmes. Remember, Bray Holmes just pitted. He has fresh tires now, and he's going to try to get up there. Oh, yeah.
Right off of turn 4, Ryan. I'm sorry. The 51, the 24, the 25, and the 20 with 4 wide off of turn 4. Ryan Matthews
made it.
And they made it without touching each other. Ryan Matthews now splitting the middle, took it 3 wide. Hard the
no, they're right in front of Matthews.
Oh, no. Big round.
Oh, there's everybody.
And look who made it through. Borgs makes it through.
Oh, my. Did Borgs make it through?
Borgs made it through side by side with Ryan Matthews currently. Looks like 11th and 12th. Holy moly, we're going to back that up for the AWS Roofing Instant Replay. Oh, my goodness.
I just had one. My goodness, that was nuts.
Paul, I'm going to have to take a breather.
Wes, you gotta go sort
blah,
this out,
blah.
my friend.
All right, let's take a look.
Cow.
We're gonna take a deep breath. We're gonna give this to you in a third of the speed. We're gonna look at it from the blimp, and we're gonna push the right button to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. So we're seeing the 68. Sontag gets a little bit squirrely. He shoots up high. 51, the points leader, Ryan Matthews. He shoots into the middle, holds on to it just all right. We're going to see exactly where this starts. I believe it's the 57 to 26. I think it was the 26 comes up out of the corner, scrapes the wall, boom. There you see it. Comes back down into the 9 or the 6. And the 51, nowhere to go. He was right there. Gets into the back of him. He shoots down to the 24. 68 gets around, no problem. Sergi gets around, no problem. Just kidding. He gets turned from the quarter panel. M4 gets a big shot. Boom, there he goes. 50 gets involved. 26. There comes the 33. He drives on through that. You can see he slows way, way down. Almost gets run over from the back of the 35. No damage there for the 33 of Ryan Borgs. Not the same for not the same story for the 51 of Ryan Matthews, as he's down low, and you can see these guys are side by side. One all the way on the inside wall, one all the way up on the outside wall. 51's got some big time damage on that car from this incident and some incidents before, and Borgs definitely has a little bit of damage on that car, but man, it's not as bad as the 51. So holy moly, we got some fantastic racing here. These 87 Cup cars at USA International Speedway, and these drivers putting on a clinic here. And we're bringing you all the action here at VidaneTV, and we're so glad you guys are able to join us and watch this amazing race unfold.
Paul, I did not expect things to go this way. You know, we're on week 8 now, and we've run another track most of the time, and we've seen the 33, the 51. They have been the class of the field. They've really not had trouble like this, even at New Smyrna, where things are a little bit tighter. The action's a little bit more jam-packed. Here we were thinking, you know, a little more place to race here. Wider, it's a little bit bigger. But, man, we have seen these two, Borgs and Matthews, go through trials and tribulations that they have not experienced the past 7 weeks. So, but to see the 33 drive up through that wreck, that could have been a championship-winning move. Ryan Matthews at this point has no choice but to ride with the damage he has over these final 42 laps. So a long way to go, and with what we've seen tonight, don't change the channel. Don't go watch anybody else's YouTube right now. Don't go to anybody else's Facebook. Park it right here at the Edgewater Screen World Series of Esports, because it is about to be on. We're setting up for the championship battle. But Paul, Wes, I think the 57 of Bray Holmes has showed up tonight, and this is his night. We're going to see if he can capitalize.
Here's a storyline. Ryan Borg's 9th, Ryan Matthews 10th. Ryan Matthews, that car, I wouldn't say mangled, but it's definitely been slapped around with the Borg's machine. Not the prettiest either. I had to catch my breath there, had to talk to the guys, had to figure out what happened, take a couple screenshots and get back at it. But we're back here, and we're about to go green flag racing one more time. We saw 3 and 4 wide off the corners. It worked, Ryan. It worked. What didn't work was one driver slapping the wall in front of all that. That's what caused that calamity. So we're back green flag
racing. Let's see what happens here, Wes. We're back underway. Frazier, your leader. You can see he's rumpled up on the left front. Bray Holmes, fresh tires on the outside, takes over the lead once again. Bray Holmes, if he comes by and leads this lap, he'll claim the extra bonus points for leading the most laps. No one's going to beat him in that regard. Now they've got to focus on beating him to the checkered flag. Bray Holmes back out in front of Jimmy Frazier in the 6. Blake Clouser in the 9. All beat up, but still running 3rd.
Man, bumper cars for the 91 of Sontag. He gets bumped out of the way. 3 wide with Matthews and Borgs. Matthews thinks better.
Man.
33 and Borg slams it down into 3 and 4. He pushes the Tyler Sontag car high. Matthews able to follow suit. Both drivers pick up one position.
Wes, this racing right now, very intense. Tyler Sontag crossover move, looking at the bottom. Matthews going to hold him off. My foot right now is uncontrollably shaking because the action has picked up. It is intense here tonight. We're watching perhaps we got a crash. Jimmy Frazier all over the place in the 6. Never mind, it's not a crash. He kept it going. He got a tap. He got a boop. He got sideways. Smoke show. We stay green.
Yep, Jimmy Frazier not going to be a happy driver, not a happy camper with the Blake Clouser machine there, but Jimmy Frazier, one heck of a save in that number 6 machine, and now he has to figure out how he can battle himself back up there. But man, Jimmy Frazier was doing one heck of a job. But look who it is now back up front. The cream is.
Well, we got a wreck in the back, Wes. We got a wreck in the back. A bunch of them are around. Looks like Sontag's in it. Ellis is in it. Powers and more. Caution out of lap 64.
As it is, it looks like possibly the 24 of. The 24 of Smith and the 91 of Tyler Sontag. He's named the Heartbreak Kid for a reason.
So we'll send it down to Paul here. He's going to get a replay fired up so we can see what happened. Just saw that at the tail end of the speed shot there and just saw a bunch of cars going around. And looks like we've had another big one here at USA International Speedway. A couple weeks ago in the truck series, we went 60 some odd laps. I believe it was 69 green flag laps. Tonight, we've had 69 laps of caution and we're not even on lap 69. So Paul, what do you got?
Taking a look at the AWS Roofing instant replay right now, taking a look at it from the blimp view, and you're looking at the 68 car. Gets a little bit of a tap from the 24. 24 slows up. 23 does not. Is it 23 or 29? He gets on around. 23 is involved. 94 McDonald's, he's involved. And definitely looks like Sontag's able to grab a gear and get going here. And the 25 gets around skate free. And we're going to take a look here. Yeah, looks like... a little bit of payback there from the 68 to the 24. Actually, it's 91 on the scoring, but that was a tough break. Big time damage there for the Heartbreak Kid, Tyler Sontag.
Boy, another wild incident here on a night that's been full of great racing and great wrecks. So if you like great side-by-side action, you're getting your money's worth. If you like the crashes, well, you're not disappointed. And it usually ramps up towards the end. I don't know if my volume knob goes up past 11, but we're about to find out.
Absolutely, and we're taking a look right now. Second place in points, Ryan Borgs in that number 33. Started, the stats show he started in 6th. That's where he qualified, but he started in the back. 1 and 2 in the points, started in the back, and he's currently running 5th. But 2 spots behind him is Ryan Matthews in that number 51 Country Time car, and man, oh man, you can see the difference in the damage. That 51 has been through a thing or two, and he could tell you a thing or two, and he probably wouldn't recommend it. But if you look at the 33, I don't want to jinx him, so I'm not going to say anything else. But you can definitely compare the damage and the bodies between the 51 and the 33. These guys putting on an absolute show inside of a show that we're going to call the points battle inside of this race.
You know, Paul, I said this is probably Bray Holmes' night to shine. I don't know Ryan Borg's in the 33. He's had an adventure tonight, but he's looking to capitalize. Nick Noggle having a great run. This is his best run of the series in that beautiful Davey Allison throwback scheme. You cannot hate on that scheme. It's a beautiful, beautiful looking thing. And, well, now we're going to set it up. We got just over 30 to go when we go back racing. Bray Holmes, he's been the dominant driver, but the story has been the top two in points. Their battle from the back of the field has not been easy. Lots of calamity, lots of crashing, and yet they're still running about 5th and 7th. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else we can do to try to hold these guys down.
For sure, Ryan. These guys are absolutely putting on a show here, and looks like the lights are off on the pace truck, lined up 2x2 all the way through. Man, these late '80s Cup cars putting on. Well, it's not even a style car; it's these drivers in these cars that are absolutely putting on a clinic here. We made the announcement last week that we were going to be running these cars. These guys definitely show that they put the practice time in. Got a great setup there from Jimmy Frazier, who was able to hook these guys up with something nice and stable and very easily drivable. And, man, these guys are taking it and absolutely running with it.
All right, so we're getting back to green flag racing here as your leader takes the green. Back rocking and rolling. Looks like the M4 of the M4 of Colbert did not get the start that he wanted there, so he said he's going to stay up top. He has a little bit of damage, so he's not able to keep up with the speeds that he would like to. So it's a great green flag racing back here. Your leader is the now Nicholas Noggle machine.
Wow. Nicholas Noggle on the restart, taking advantage there, going to the front. Here's recharged by lap 70, so 30 laps. Long way to go here on this big track, USA International Speedway throwback night here for the E-World Series, brought to you by Edgewater's Screen. Of course, we thank Russell Bonanza for all he's done. Huge supporter of short track racing on the side of a bunch of super stocks now, and they'll be sponsoring James and Marlene Adams this weekend.
Pretty wide into one right now. I'm sorry, Jimmy Frazier splitting Costello in the Matthews. Eric Purcell just did the same thing. It made it work. I'm sorry to cut you off, but they just...
No, it's all right. Wes, people are passing Ryan Matthews. We have not said that throughout these weeks. You can see the damage.
I actually just heard a clip of Ryan Matthews' spotter as he was in the center of three wides twice. It was just his spotter screaming.
I believe we had one car around there. No caution so far. No caution. Everything's up and rocking and rolling. All cars are straight. So further in the pack, though, Ryan Matthews, your points leader, starting 9th. I know you guys are probably like, why do you keep on talking about Ryan Matthews? Well, he's a week away from winning $500. And he's got the odds stacked against him. So that's why we're talking a lot about Ryan Matthews, is now he's under fire from Philip Ellis. Who's,
Wes, we're trying to get that 10% founder's fee for talking about him enough. So we're going to keep talking about him here. But, man, a struggle for Ryan Matthews. He is drifting back. The damage obviously hindering his ride here tonight. And that's just going to close it up between Ryan Matthews and Ryan Borges. But we cannot call it over yet. There's 25 laps to go. We've seen all kinds of craziness. But, Wes, the championship battle, it could come down to one position next week, and I cannot wait.
The next car that Matthews has to worry about is Eugene Tuminello. He is the next car that is on the same lap, and he's now on the bumper of the number 51 machine of Matthews is Eugene Tuminello, as he's looking low, trying to follow Tyler Sontag.
We're going to get him here, I think, Wes.
And then Jeffrey Gilbo will be for a position as well, so that is not looking good for the 51. But we got a battle back up front, boys. Nicholas Nago now under fire from Bray Holmes.
Here comes Bray Holmes at 57. Might as well call him Lightning McQueen because he's fast as lightning right to the back bumper. Candidate is Nicholas Noggle. Nicholas Noggle, the fast forward. Bray Holmes, the Chevrolet right behind him. They are nose to tail. Oh! Contact! Holy cow, how did he save it?
And here comes Purcell, Ryan. Eric Purcell, our winner from Monday night's Truck Series. He wants to make this a 3-car dance as they head into one.
They're about to be 3 wide for the race lead. Noggle gives the bottom groove to Bray Holmes. Come to the inside. Oh, man, Purcell going to come try to steal another one, I think, Wes. Frazier right in the mix. Top 5, top 6, under a blanket in turn 4.
And look who it is. Look who showed up to the party. Ryan Borgs in that 33 bright orange car. He's in this front pack now.
Ryan, this is Ryan and Paul. This is the best racing we've seen all season long.
Rewind.
Pumped up.
Guys,
Woo!
guys, take a die, roll it, and pick your position, because at this point, the top 6 could all go to victory lane with 20 laps to go. 20 laps to go. Bray Holmes back out in front.
Keep in mind, Nicholas Noggle might be the only car that oh, no, I'm sorry. Nicholas Noggle did pit for tires. He pitted at lap
30 laps ago. 30 laps ago. Yes.
Yeah, lap 50 he pitted for tires.
Purcell for the lead in turn 3 west.
Eric Purcell trying to get 2 this week as he goes to the lead, putting Bray Holmes back a second. Here comes Fraser.
Crossover. Nope, couldn't do it. Remember, Colt Cecil won on Monday night. Colt Cecil won Monday, so Eric Purcell trying to get back to victory lane. He's been one of the few drivers to win in this series, though.
This race has me hotter than the Snowball Derby.tv. If you don't know the Snowball Derby top.tv, go check it on your browser right now. Snowball Derby.
I have no idea what you just said. Do not check that out. Keep watching this race, because this is some of the best action we've seen.
Guys, Ryan Borgs is coming. He is in P4 right now, and the guys in front of him are side by side. He's going to win this damn race, and he's going to take over the points lead. I'm telling you. That's my pick.
Here he is. He's past he's in the inside of Bray Holmes here, Paul and Ryan, as he works it into the top 3.
Oh, man, contact between he and Bray Holmes. Holmes puts the pressure on. Now here comes Blake Clouser back in the mix. I don't know if we're done wrecking yet here, folks. Stay tuned. But the 33 of Borges on a mission. Ryan Borges flying up, getting a little bit loose, trying to close in. He's into the top 3. And guys, I think he's going to take over that point lead. Contact! They saved it. Holy cow!
I know that the admins mentioned to them in that last caution. Look, I know you guys are sick of seeing Ryan Stevens win. We have to listen to them whine about that.
I haven't won anything, Wes. I don't know what you're talking
Ryan Matthews. They're sick of Ryan Matthews winning. I told them if you want to see a new winner, you got to keep it green flag racing, and it looks like they're trying to do that. Eric Purcell, your leader, Jimmy Frazier, and then Ryan Borgs. Right now, it's 1 position per spot. Right now, Ryan Borgs is 3rd, and Matthews is on a tear. He's worked his way back up to 10th. So right now, that's a 7-point swing, I believe, doing kind of math-ish and stuff. So the point
so that if our math is correct, that would make it maybe a 1, maybe a 2-point deficit going into the final race. And Wes, I'm just kind of looking over the points. Don't forget, Eric Purcell is trying to win this race, and if he can do that, he sits 3rd in the standings. He's 36 back, so he needs the 33 and the 51 to finish about 20th.
Yeah, but guys, this race isn't over. We still have 14 laps to go. The fastest driver last time by.
I want them to add another 100 and make them go backwards or something.
The fastest lap last time by, Ryan Borgs with a 21.737.
Wow. Ryan Borgs is coming, but it's too little too late. But I think it's more damage control right now, Ryan.
Yeah, I think you're right. At this point, he'll probably be very happy to finish 3rd. Maybe can get up to 2nd without a caution. Might be tough to catch Purcell. He's 1.7 seconds behind. There you see Fraser, 2nd place. With all this excitement, let's settle back in here. Eric Purcell, there you see him. He's been through a war tonight. I don't even know where he came from. Started in 4th. The story is not, it's not like he's been up there all night. He's been involved in some stuff. He's had to battle his way back into contention. And of course, he's one of the few to be right up in there week in and week out. I believe he does have a win in this series, even though it's been dominated by the Ryans. Purcell trying to claw his way back into the championship, hoping that something happens to the 33, hoping that something happens to the 51. But nonetheless, trying to get the win here tonight. Jimmy Frazier, he's been one of those guys that we've talked about a lot. He's been close, and he's close again here tonight. But Ryan Borges charging through the field, been involved in multiple wrecks tonight. Wes, this has been the kind of racing we've been trying to sell for the last 8 weeks, and we're getting it tonight.
And all it took was a couple changes, and bam, these drivers figured out how to get it done. But here we go. That battle for the lead you might see starting to heat up. 0.2 faster each lap is Jimmy Frazier catching Eric Purcell. Now, yes, Jimmy Frazier helped make this setup. But when he made this setup, he sent it out to everybody. Everybody had the same amount of time to practice this setup on their own. So I don't think it comes down to Jimmy Frazier having more time with the setup. All these drivers did. But Ryan Borgs is running a 2.25 to a 3.36 of Jimmy Frazier, a 5.16 of Eric Purcell. The 33 of Ryan Borgs is the fastest in the top 5. And our leader's in the wall. Purcell.
Oh, no. Purcell into the wall, and look at this. Here's the top 3 under a blanket in turn number 3 off turn number 4. How bad did Purcell hurt the car? It looks like he's struggling with it now, Wes. Here comes Frazier. Here comes Borg.
Oh,
Look at this. Look at this. Are you kidding me?
Purcell running a defensive line down the straightaways, trying to just protect that bottom line of Frazier. That's opening up the outside to Ryan Borgs. You see Purcell,
man.
The apron coming through 3 and 4. We got a race for the win, boys.
Nope, here comes Borg. Ryan Borg is going to win this race, folks. He's down to the inside of Frazier. He's going to get second. Frazier's not going to be able to hold him off up there, I don't think, Wes. Here comes your second place point man, trying to take over the point lead. He's going to get by Frazier here in 3. He's got the wounded 88 of Purcell. Throw a blanket under the top 3, but watch the 33, Wes. 5 laps to go. This is it. Who's it going to be?
Right now, Ryan Matthews sits, I believe, in the 9th position. The 8th position is quite a bit far away of David Costello. If he finishes 9th, and then the Borgs machine, who makes contact? If he's able to bring home the win, that will tie them. But then Borgs gets a point for winning and a point for leading a lap. That would give Borgs a 2-point lead. He may be the new points leader, kind of leaving this race, but he needs to win this race, Ryan. 5 to go.
Let's not forget, these top 3 could wreck each other here, and we're talking a whole completely different scenario. 5, make it 4.5 laps to go. Purcell, defensive line down the back straightaway.
Oh!
It's into him! He got it!
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God! Ryan Borgs with the bumpy run!
Oh my God, now Frazier to the back bumper. Frazier puts the bumper to Borges. Doesn't get him though, doesn't get him. 4 to go.
This race is phenomenal here.
Have you ever?
Wes, I don't even know what you're saying because you're going insane over there. Ryan Borges with 3 to go. Leads. Holy cow, lap traffic ahead. That could make things interesting. But Wes, I don't think they're catching him. They're not going to catch him, I don't think.
Man, I really hope they don't, because I got a feeling Jimmy Frazier still has a little bit left in the tank, as they're going to come around to 2 to go. Popsicle sticks are out for Borgs, Frazier, and Eric Purcell.
Frazier looks like he's overdriving just a little bit. He's sending it in there. He knows if he's going to win, he's got to get to that 33, but he's a car length and a half back. 2 to go. Time's winding down. We're going to see if they catch these lap cars, because that's going to, they've dropped down to the bottom of the racetrack. Frazier sends it in, back end wiggling. He breaks it down in there. He's right to the back bumper. Here we go, Wes. Last lap for Ryan Borges.
Borges, his entire mirror is filled with nothing but the 9 machine as they work through 1 and 2. Frazier with a better corner than Borgs. They got the lap car of Jeffrey Gilbo in front of them. Let's see if that ends up being an issue. They dive it into 3 and 4.
He got him. Oh my God, here we go! Who's it gonna be?
Oh, Frazier! Frazier!
Wow!
Holy cow!
Frazier with the win!
God!
Oh my God! Frazier with the win! He steals it from Ryan Borgs! Oh my Loyata!
Oh my God, what a race! Jimmy Frazier with the bump and run, and that was fair game in my book. Frazier wins it, Borges second, Matthews 9th. The points battle will come down to next weekend here on VidaneTV to settle this one. If you didn't enjoy that, I don't know that we can be friends.
Absolutely the best way you could possibly word that, Ryan. We're taking a look right now on your screen of the last 60 seconds of that battle. Holy cow. That may very well have been the most entertaining thing you've ever seen right here on VidaneTV. Holy moly, Wes. Wes, you still with us?
Barely.
Ground control to Wes.
Just barely. Man, I know Ryan Borgs is he's pretty upset. He's pretty upset, needless to say. As he should be. There's some words being shed, and I'm going to let those drivers shed those words. and I'm going to try to get my voice back for the interviews. Boy, what a race, Ryan! Paul kicked this thing to some replay. I don't know, show it like, I don't know, a diapers replay.
Showing it right now. The 6 gets into the back of the 33, and man, the 33 just had an opportunity to send him on into the wall and take this race back. And it looks like the 6 just kind of drove up. He knew that move may or may not have been coming, and just nothing Borgs could do. He was just, man, nothing but a victim at that point. Holy moly, what a race. What a finish. And what a points battle. Ryan Matthews all the way back in 9th place. He finished that race in 9th place. And Ryan Borgs gets a point, a bonus point for leading at least a lap. So that's going to be huge as we move into... We're going to get Wes to try and put together the point standings here. Because, man, oh, man, we have an absolute show for you folks here next Wednesday night. But let's take a moment or two. Let's catch our breath, do a little bit of yoga. We're going to listen to some commercial breaks, and we'll be right back here with your top 3 and possibly more for some interviews after that fantastic race that you just witnessed.
The secret is, it's quicker.
Chris Ferguson will take the chips home. He'll win it.
PFC Brakes. More championships than any other. From late models to modifieds on pavement and dirt. With at-track service like no other. Success means no compromises.
A 5th win of the year for Ty Majeski. He'll take it.
Lighter, stiffer, cooler, quicker. PFC Brakes. The secret is, it's quicker.
Speed 51's video network, where the battles are legendary. Get the full picture on short track racing. We will take you behind the scenes.
It's just a meathead.
Your track, your driver, your sport, your passion. Dirt, late models, modifieds, and more. Race highlights, recaps, interviews, historic races, and thousands of on-demand videos. The Speed 51 network, short track racers' home for the greatest video coverage.
All right, we are back here at VidaneTV. Most of us have our voice, most of us don't.
Hey, man, not me. I don't got a voice.
What a battle. We're going to catch some words with some key drivers here. We're going to try to get to talk to all of the top 3, our current points leader. We're going to go over points and all that as well. So be aware of that. But first of all, I'm probably going to kick it here to Eric Purcell, who is 3rd place. Purcell, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what a race, brother. What a race. For a while there, it looked like you were going to be the winner. Walk us through this event.
I don't think I can really walk you through. Let's get in a wheelchair and we'll just roll through, I guess.
10-4. All right. Well, Eric, since we're back to wheelchair racing here, brother.
Next week we'll be racing the wheelchairs here.
You know
No, I
what?
tell you, I start up front. I'm just going to ride for a little while. I don't know who. I think it was the Thomas kid maybe rolled it out and stepped on it there and wrecked us first. And then I saved my quick repair. I didn't use it then. Then we went to the back, got wrecked again, saved it again, didn't use it, got a lap down, blah, blah, blah. Come in this last caution, I took tires and drove through the field and was driving away. Of course, my car is destroyed. So I'm, half a second off the pace. I'm driving down the middle of the straightaway, and the 33 wants to drive under me instead of around me on the outside. I don't know. Obviously, he's never raced in real life before, because if somebody's driving down the middle of the straightaway, you generally just roll to the outside and just drive by them and wave by and maybe give them the bird and drive off. But, it is what it is.
Man, we thought, you got the win Monday. We thought we were going to be able to get it done tonight. But still, with the adversity that you faced tonight, going down a lap, not getting the lucky dog because you were a part of a caution, and then getting the lucky dog the next time, having a mangled Monte Carlo, and you were still able to bring home a top 3. That's still a stout finish for yourself, man.
Well, I'm the best there is. I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine.
sure is that you or somebody else, but
Hey, at least he tells it like it is.
that's why we love guys like Eric Purcell here. Eric, we're giving you a chance to say hello, some thank yous, some highs that may be watching this, brother.
Yeah, in real life, I got to thank Johnny at RRD. Lets me drive his house car, open wheel modified. Also got to thank Florida Building Solutions coming on this year for a few races, helping us get the motor back up and going, buying us tires and whatnot. Also got to remember to thank Sergi last week for letting me run his car and getting that win. I think we probably would have won this week pretty easily, but it's these guys. They're all a bunch of weapons, and you can't help it.
That's all right though, because weapons is what we like here at VidaneTV. But no, seriously, Eric, one hell of a drive tonight. You faced adversity, you overcame diversity. It didn't go perfect at the end, but you can't shake your head at that, man. One hell of a race.
10-4, thanks. Yeah, I just shake my head at people that try to pass people on the inside on the apron and the grass, but yeah, it's whatever. He's going to win the points. Good.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was Eric Purcell of P3 tonight, and I believe catching up with P2 is Ryan Matthews. Ryan Matthews is with Ryan Borgs.
No, you said his name wrong. I believe it's Ryan effing Borgs.
Gotten all the Ryan. There's too many Ryans in this damn.
Oh, way too many.
Yeah.
Too many drinks as well in this booth. Go ahead.
Ryan Borges, you got a copy, my friend. Hey, buddy, man, you had an adventure tonight. You were, I'm sure you're regretting starting in the back now, but watching you come from the back, get wrecked, come from the back, get wrecked, come to the front, and battle for the lead. It was fun for us. How was it from your perspective, though? We'll talk about the last lap in a minute. How was your adventure tonight?
Pretty crazy, not going to lie. There's definitely a bunch of wrecks. I think there was there was a restart stack up that got me pretty good. Luckily, I had a reset and was able to get back in the lead lap after that and kind of battle my way back. Narrowly missed a wreck in the backstretch. Had to field, get by people that didn't really want me to be up there. Tried to take me out a few times. That's fine. I was able to battle for the win, so that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you were a guy we were talking about all night long, and I'm glad you kind of said it. Do you feel like you have a bullseye in your back bumper now because you've been so good in this series? Do you think do you think that people are after you at this point?
No, pretty sure they're after me. They have designated call-outs to try to take me out, and they're coordinated in rooms to do it. So.
Well, hey, with all that going against you, you still persevered. You had the win in your sights. Last lap, a lot of contact there. The 6 got into you in 3. You try to get him back in 4, and you come up 1 spot short. What's your view on the last lap there? Do you think that was fair game, or is there payback coming next week?
Not even that upset about that. I'm just upset that I'm targeted by half the field just because I'm better than them. I mean, that's just kind of aggravating to me, but it is what it is. I tried my best to drive away or get to the lead and drive away on 15-lap older tires when my car is probably a second slower than theirs, and they still squandered the lead and complain about it. But it's fine. Just frustrating to have people try and interfere when you and another driver basically a race up in points, and they're trying to take you out just for shits and giggles. Excuse my language, but
no, you're good. Believe me.
It's tough. I know the points are definitely gonna be tight now, so hopefully I don't get potentially wrecked next week. But kind of counting on it. So it is what it is.
Listen, man, you got to use that as motivation going into next week, the finale. You are unofficially 1 point behind Ryan Matthews right now. After all that, 1 point behind. Basically, whoever finishes ahead of each other next week, we're getting the points up on the screen right now. You are 1 point behind going into next week. So use all this frustration as motivation for next week.
And I actually have Ryan Matthews up here with us. Matthew, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
I wanted to make sure I got you in here with Ryan Borgs because obviously you two are the 2 standalones when it comes to the points. Ryan Matthews, we'll talk to you a little bit further, but it's 1 point. That's 1 position, boys, that is going to determine who is the champion here. Borgs, first, your thoughts on that?
definitely an exciting race. I mean, basically that means whoever finishes ahead of each other, well, I guess whoever wins will get it. I mean, it'll probably come down to a tiebreaker if it's based on positions or something like that. And I know he's got the majority of the wins in the series. I haven't even won a race yet. It's kind of been in every way.
Well, I could say this to both of you. You guys put on a hell of a show fighting from the back with the points as close as it is. I doubt you're going to have to worry about that next week. I think we're going to be running it pretty straight up. So you're not going to have to worry about that. It's going to come down to who can finish up front. So I'm going to let Stevens finish off with you. Ryan Matthew, we'll get to you later.
All right, Ryan, real quick. I know it was a frustrating run for you tonight from your perspective. Very entertaining for all of us to watch. But real quick, do you have anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to, any thank yous, anything like that?
Yeah, just gotta thank RPM Motorsports, also the Northern Senior Champ Kart Series, everyone up in the Northeast here in Connecticut, New York, Mass, all those guys are finally getting to go racing here soon. That'll be fun. Get to do what you guys have gotten to do down in Florida a little bit finally. But thank you to Vidane for broadcasting this and letting me be a part of it. I know I sound a little PO'd tonight. I mean,
you're allowed
to.
You're allowed to, Ryan. You just got wrecked for the win.
We like this raw emotion because that was a hell of a race.
Yeah, I'm glad you can't really hear what I was saying in the race room in the broadcast here. It's probably a good thing, but yeah, I'll cool down. Even though it's simulation racing, I still get heated. Tempers do flare, and
well, yeah. I mean, hey, you take a lot of time out to do this, and you put a lot of effort into it, and we're appreciative of that. Because you guys made it a show tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely. I'm sure that was probably one of the most entertaining battles people have seen in a long time on iRacing.
Our voice is gone, Ryan.
Yeah, there was a good 3-car battle for the win there. The last 20 laps. It was not much more you can ask for. So hopefully everyone enjoyed it. I mean, obviously 2 of the drivers are going to be pretty upset after the race that they didn't win, and one of those is going to be happy. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one that was happy after the race. Happens.
Borgs, I got one question. How hard were you turning left off of 4?
I was. I mean, I'm not saying I was trying to dump him, but I was cranking the wheel as hard as I could, trying to get it back going. I was actually surprised I was able to save it with the slow steering box in these cars. I was like, oh man, I didn't loop it. I mean, that's cool. And I'm like, he's going by me. But I mean, I understand it was the last lap. I was just kind of boiled over from the last 30 or 40 laps in a row because I know those guys don't necessarily love me. So
real quick, Borgs, this is Strickland Jr. down in the production trailer. Man, how much real life racing experience do you have?
You know, not really that much besides go-karts. I mean, actually really nothing besides go-karts. I run at Pomfret Speedway mainly, and it's in a little small paved kart track in Pomfret, Connecticut, and then I run at Stafford Speedway a little bit when they have a few events a year for us, and run champ karts. I enjoy doing that. Love to get into a real car eventually. It's just as everyone knows, it's pretty expensive, so hopefully that'll be a future thing. But yeah, I mean, don't have big car experience, but I do race something in real life. I'm not just iRacing. What do they call it? An iRacing alien.
Well, roger that. Well, Ryan, I'm going to need you to stick around after the show here because as the public relations director for Rent a Race Car and speaking with the Rent a Race Car owner, Gary Spinato Jr., that's about to change. So got some big things in the work here. A couple of weeks going away here. Wes, I'm going to let you take the interviews here and continue on with the post-race show. But Borgs, if you could stick around for me, I'd appreciate it.
10-4. It sounds good.
All right, so that was second place Ryan Borgs, and that leaves us one more driver, and we're going to kind of double team him here, Ryan Stevens and I. Jimmy Frazier is your winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, you ran a solid race, all race. Has seen some tire strategy going on, it's a little bit of beating and bumping. And then the last lap comes, 3 and 4. Walk us through your thought process.
Yeah, I got in a wreck pretty early and got some damage. I decided not to take my quick repair because I know how my luck with these races go. I always get wrecked at least twice. But came up through the field. Everyone pitted around lap 50, and I decided I was going to stay out just to get. I stayed out till 65 just to get a little bit fresher tires. And really, it was all about staying consistent and staying at the yellow line around the bottom of the corners because everyone would overshoot their corners. I mean, it was happening so much. I mean, it was easy to overshoot the corner and you could squeak by them. And yeah, I ended up in second there, and Purcell was leading, and I reeled him in pretty quickly. He started making mistakes or whatever. I don't know. His car was falling off, and once I got to him, he was kind of blocking the bottom. So that allowed Borges to catch up, and he ended up getting by me, and we ended up both getting by Purcell. And then I was faster than him. I get he had old tires and all, but whenever it comes down to the last lap, I mean, I don't got a hit out for him or anything. I don't care if it was Donald Trump leading. I'd move him out of the way for the win. So if anyone watches the Down South Street Stock series, they could see I moved Devin out of the way for like a fourth place or something the last race of the year. So it really don't matter where you're at in points.
Well, Jimmy, I mean, that was one of the most thrilling races we've had out here, and you proved you're not afraid to go for the knockout punch in the final corner. In your eyes, is that a fair move on the last lap? And considering the 33 tried to get you again off 4, I mean, fair game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how other people feel, but I know that during the race, I try and race as clean as I can possibly can. And I try not to bump no one out of the way. Like today, I was patient and waited for people to slip up, and I get by them. But whenever it's the last lap, you're going to do what you got to do for the win. And I didn't intend to wreck Borges. I just wanted to move him out of the way, and it worked out. And he tried to get back to me on 4, and that would be fine too. It's racing for the win. You got to do what you got to do.
Well, that's what I like to hear. I mean, that was so entertaining to see the three of you guys with Eric Purcell and Borges up there over those final 5 laps. It's thrilling, man. That felt like the racetrack. That awesome, great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and Jimmy Frazier, this is your first win of the season. Who would you like to give a shout out to? Any thanks, hellos, how are yous that may be watching?
Yeah, I just want to thank luck because it was definitely on my side. I only got in one incident, and it was early on. And after that, I kind of squeaked by a lot of those wrecks. Everyone that helps out in real life, my dad, everyone that's building my truck right now, it's up and coming deal. It's brand new. Chad Pierce and all those guys over there. And everyone that really just has a part of this league. And you guys do a great job putting it on. And I appreciate you, Wes, pulling double duty tonight. Did a pretty good job. And just everyone that makes racing in real life happen, all the racetracks, and just everyone who helps cover Sunshine State Racing and all those guys.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was your winner, Jimmy Frazier. Jimmy, we'll see you Monday night.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was Jimmy Frazier. So you heard from a little bit earlier tonight, and now we're going to speak to him one more time. Our current points leader, Ryan Matthews. Ryan, you went into this event with a 9-point cushion. That is now 1. Walk us through the tumultuous race that you had, and now at 1 position will make the difference.
Yeah, obviously me and Ryan had to start in the back with the EOLs. We made it through. I made it through 4 laps before, unfortunately, getting hooked in the right rear and having engine damage. So I didn't think it was that bad, and we were only 4 laps into the race. So I tried to kind of keep my fast repair towards the end, and but it just cost me too much time. So I went back down, got another fast repair, and then about 20 laps later, I got wrecked again. Got right reared again, and had engine damage again. So we rode around about half the race with down about probably 10 miles per hour at the end of the straightaway speed. So we were really awful in pace, just kind of try to hang in there. And I was kind of watching the race up front between Jimmy, Ryan, and Eric, seeing what all happened. And I was kind of just riding around in 9th place, just kind of doing the most I could do. I couldn't really do anything else. But like you said, it went from a 9 to a 1-point lead, so it's definitely going to be a close race tomorrow. Really sucks having points that close, but it'll definitely be a good show for the fans.
So what's the mindset you go into next week? What is that mindset for you with the points being what it is, everything that's on the line? Um, do you race conservative? Do you play defense? Do you get aggressive? What do you do?
What cars are we racing next week, first of all?
It's the normal schedule. We run supers, which is down your alley, but
Okay.
we're here at USA International.
Well, I'm pretty good here as well, in my opinion. Not to be cocky.
So you mean you guys need to start in the back again next week?
No, 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 no. Yeah, obviously I'm pretty decent in the supers. Ryan is as well, so it's going to be a close race. If we don't have to start in the back, hopefully we don't. That'll kind of help us out a lot. Obviously, I really would not want to get wrecked, so I'll probably race a little bit more on the conservative side. But it's going to be going all out this last 30 or 40 laps, trying to get every position I can.
Well, we wanted to grab a quick word with you, man. It's been one hell of a season going into the finale. We're already at week 9, and we're looking forward to calling this action. And until then, man, good luck, and we'll be here for it, brother.
Yeah, Country Time is sponsoring 2 other cars out there, so
I think that's tight on cash, brother.
Yeah,
This is 1987, $1,000 like 100 these days.
Well, maybe if they didn't sponsor 2 other cars, we could have had more money for another engine and car, since we already went through both engines and cars.
Hey,
had to roll it back
you know
out.
what? It's kind of like JD Motorsports. They just got to throw all their chips in and see what the hell happens. Good job tonight, man, and can't wait to call that action next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Ryan Matthews, and we did get a word, Paul, that Nick Noggle wanted to speak to us. Nick Noggle is a driver that runs up north, as well as he comes down and runs in the south here in Florida for Speed Week. So, Mr. Noggle, what's going on here, brother?
What's going on, guys? That was a race.
Walk us through your journey, man. That was one hell of a battle. It looked like for a while that you could have been the driver in victory lane, but did tires get to you? Was it pit strategy? What ended up happening?
Yeah, no, that last restart got a wicked run on the outside, and I thought, oh, this will be good. And about 5 laps into that run, it was just, oh, there's no tires left on this car.
You definitely put on one hell of a show in these 1987 Monte Carlos. Getting a trip down here to Florida, but not to New Smyrna, but to USA International for a change here, man. You having some fun here in this league?
Yeah, man, I got to thank you guys for putting it on. It's something to kill the pain. Up here, we're still not racing, so got to find something to do, but man, it's a blast. Luck just happened to be on our side tonight. I know there were a couple times with them big wrecks, just kind of closed your eyes, kept your foot in it, and didn't touch anything, surprisingly.
Man, you typically do a great job. You keep it clean. You do your best to you have it there at the end, and tonight was no different. Anybody you'd like to say hello to?
Yeah, I just hate all the boys from back home. Like, there's always something to do, and we're looking forward to get back to racing so that all the fans have something to watch.
Well, hopefully we see you next Wednesday night and possibly even Monday if you want to join the trucks at, I believe the trucks are going to be at 5 Flags for their finale for 120 laps on Monday night. So if that's something you want to join us at, it's at 7 p.m. is qualifying time. You're more than welcome as well.
Yep, you'll probably see me there. That's awesome. Thanks,
Well,
boys.
we've got the Tranquility Super Late models there for Tim's Corner Motorsport Thursday and Friday. We'll probably see you in those, right, Nick?
Yeah, I'm guessing I'll probably be there too. We'll see what happens.
We never get to talk to Nick, but we call quite a few races that Nick is typically involved in with Tim's Corner Motorsports, as well as here at VidaneTV. He does quite a bit here on the iRacing side of things, and hope to see more of you to come here, Nick. Congratulations on the solid run tonight.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, boys. Again, thanks for putting this on.
All right, so that was a quick word from Nick Noggle. We get to call a lot of races that he's involved in, and just want to get a quick word with him there. And unfortunately, Ryan Stevens had a little bit of connections issues, so we have lost Ryan Stevens for the night the way it looks. But I'm sure that connection issues might be voice issues, because I think we've all are out of voice boxes at this point. Even Paul, typically you don't hear Paul speaking up in the booth, but tonight even Paul was getting the emotional. Man, what a race.
Dude, absolutely, Wes, man. This is one of those races where it's like you were doing double duty tonight, Wes, with the administration of the race, making sure that everybody stays clean and everything like that. But you were also up here in the booth, so I made sure my mic was open to make sure that usually when we what you heard tonight was basically what Ryan and Wes hear every week, as my microphone is usually muted for the broadcast. But man, oh man, that was probably. No, that was definitely the best race we've ever called here at VidaneTV. These 87 Cup cars and these drivers behind the wheels of these cars just put on one hell of a show. And man, oh man, we have got a points battle to say the very least. 1 point separates Ryan Matthews and Ryan Borgs. That's a lap led. That's the most laps led. That is a position. Wes, this is going to be a tight points battle next week. And oh, by the way, there's going to be 25 to 30 other cars out there putting on a race. Holy moly. I don't even want to think about it right now. I don't think my heart can take it.
Yeah, I haven't screamed that much since shutting my finger in a car door. That was amazing. I typically don't get that involved, but it was like I was told I was not the father of a child that I didn't want. I was so happy, man. It was great to see. That was horrible to say. It was great to see some great racing from these drivers, because if you think, Paul, about 10, 11 weeks ago, when most of these drivers jump on the server with us, they couldn't run a lap or two without a caution coming out, without spinning out, without something happening. And here we are 3 months later, and they're having finishes and drives like that. We're getting to know names like Ryan Borges and Ryan Matthews and Anthony Sergis and Eric Purcells. We're getting to know these names that we never knew before, or at least we're not that familiar with. It's bittersweet. I think a lot of us are relieved that it has come down to the finale and we're ready to crown a champion. But at the same time, I'm going to miss racing like that.
Absolutely. And these guys put on one absolute whale of a show. Very, very fun from flag to flag through the heat races, the Conti race, and the feature race. Holy moly. Man, just Edgewater Screens is absolutely getting their money worth sponsoring this series, because these guys are putting on a clinic. Right now, taking a look at the upcoming events, as we made mention, Nick Noggle runs just about every single race we call here at VidaneTV. Tomorrow night, we're going to be running the Tim's Corner Motorsports Tranquility Super Late Models, and Friday night, that's actually going to be the 250, the 250 lapper, big-time event. And that's going to be super exciting there on a Saturday night. A little bit of super late model action there. Check that. That's Friday night. Saturday night, it's going to actually be the East Coast Winter League East Coast Classic. And that's going to be cool. Same cars we saw here tonight. The 87 Monte Carlos and the Thunderbirds from way back there in the day. They're going to be running North Wilkesboro. And man, oh man, that's going to be open setup. And that's going to be an absolute show for those boys on a Saturday night. And that's actually going to be the first Saturday night that a lot of those cats are going to be at Stafford Motor Speedway. Saturday, we've got an open test. Everybody that's registered to run at Stafford Motor Speedway has been invited to test on Saturday, so rent a race car. Absolutely going to be there with, I believe, at least 2 cars. They've got 6 rental cars there in the fleet ready to rock and roll there in the 2020 season. So, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it to the track on Saturday, but next Friday night, we are absolutely going racing. It's going to be the first race for Stafford Speedway, and I'm pumped. I'm so excited to be able to hang out with my Run a Race Car friends, my Stafford Speedway friends, and you'll be able to catch this guy here in his VidaneTV jersey and his cool little VidaneTV face mask. You can check that out. I'll mail it to you. It's over there. I keep forgetting. We'll get there. But definitely check out the Facebook page. We posted a link for it's a VidaneTV logo face mask type deal. A lot of the racetracks that are going racing, they are requiring the face masks, so we would be absolutely honored if you would represent VidaneTV at your local short track. We don't see any money out of that deal. It's $20, no shipping. The shipping is free, and there's no setup fee or anything like that. So you can order 1, you can order 10, you can order 25,000 if you wanted to. But cool little masks there, and we're going to have some rental race car ones made up here by the end of the week. But Wes, holy moly. Brother, I think I finally caught my breath. Best race we've called here on VidaneTV. The last 25% of that race was absolutely fantastic. Final thoughts, go.
Just speechless. You know, that much emotion just calling a race was awesome. That seeing that battle, and not only there were so many stories being told here. You know, you and I are wrestling fans, a lot of racing fans, wrestling fans. When you watch a wrestling match, there's a story being told from start to finish. And tonight we had multiple of those stories being told. We had the Ryan Matthews and Ryan Borton story, watching them work up through the pack. Not only that story, but the point standing story in between those two. Not only that, but Bray Holmes leading majority of this race and then falling back. And then at the end, we have one more story of what can the fastest car, Ryan Borton, could he hold off Jimmy Frazier? Like, there's so many stories told in one event that was only 100 laps. And again, bittersweet that it's coming to an end. I think we're all ready to crown a champion. Paul, I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Absolutely, brother. And we may very well not do any Vidane sanctioned weekly racing, but we're definitely going to do some special events. As you heard all three of us, Ryan, Wes, and myself alluded to, we are going to do some sort of North versus South thing. We did talk to a lot of the drivers that run this particular series in the Florida Pro Truck Challenge series, and we talked to a lot of the guys that run the New England Pennsylvania series and the East Coast Winter League days. There's a lot of cats up there that run Stafford Speedway in real life, Thompson and Waterford as well if they open up this year. They are all about a North versus South race, so we're absolutely going to be putting that kind of an all-star event on here in the near future. But right now it's a little bit tricky with the scheduling because real racing is starting to take precedent just a little bit. Like I made mention, Stafford Speedway opening its gates next Friday to all of the fans, again at 25% capacity. So make sure you jump on the website and order your tickets ahead of time to make sure you're able to get all of the action, and it'll give you the opportunity to see the VidaneTV number 26 Street Stock on track for the very first time. Very, very excited to go out and letter that car up this weekend. I'll actually be at the shop over at Vena Race Car here in Berlin, Connecticut, Saturday afternoon after practice. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it to the track because we got Father's Day weekend and all that good stuff. But man, oh man, just want to thank all the fans. Holy cow, we had a bunch of fans out there sharing the feed, sharing the video, letting all of your friends know you just watched some fantastic racing here on VidaneTV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, everything. Give us a share, give us a follow, give us a like. Let your friends know that you just watched some awesome racing here on VidaneTV. Be sure to check out our Facebook page, as I alluded to earlier. We've got the VidaneTV Facebook masks up there. $20 free shipping. We don't see any of that money, but we would absolutely be honored if you wanted to rock the VidaneTV logo at your local short track, as everybody's starting to open up here across the North American continent. So pretty excited about that, getting some real cars on real tracks, and hopefully we'll get some of that action here on VidaneTV too. We're working on that, some real racing stuff here, so be sure to pay attention for that. And man, Wes, great racing, great night. We got a hell of a points battle here for Wednesday coming up, but we got a couple of double headers here for Tim's Corner Motorsports. We got the East Coast Winter League. They're going to be running their special event, the East Coast Classic, on Saturday night after everybody goes to the racetrack on Saturday. So going to be pretty cool to see all that. But man, for everybody here at VidaneTV, everybody at Edgewater Screens, just an awesome night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, the social media stuff that we tell you to do every single week here. And we're going to pack everything up. We're going to head on down to Oxford Plains, as that's going to be the next two shows here for Tim's Corner Motorsports, running the Tranquility Super Late Models. So we're going to pack everything up here. We're going to catch you guys on the flip side. And when we do that flip side, you're going to be able to see us live, because we do it live every single time here on VidaneTV. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We hope this made it to you.